what we have is my staple. This is why my wife married me. This is why she probably won't leave me either when she wants to kill me. We have my spicy vodka rigatoni.
Let me tell you something. I just went from 6 to midnight.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
There might be 4 guys in here, but I'm fucking rock hard right now.
The table.
I like my iPad. I like to go to the cigar lounge, bring my iPad, sometimes when I'm by myself. And I thought for sure somebody would have created a case where you could bring your iPad and your cigars and your accessories all in one, and it does not exist.
Wow.
So I was like,
Really?
let me design this thing. This particular case is one of my higher end cases. This is ostrich.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Wow, this is so weird with no headphones. To the Burn Down Podcast. Eric, Justin, Brother Cigar, Dapper Cigar. If you're watching, which you most likely are, you see this beautiful scene that we got going on. We got Chef Matt Wasson from the Ciao House, from Chopped on the Food Network. And
What's
we
going
have
on, guys?
Adrian from NY Cigar Club and Coppola Cigar Co. Gentlemen, we're smoking cigars. We're cooking up Italian food. What's the deal here? What is going on?
Yeah. It's a great day.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a great day to be here. Thank you, fellas.
Yeah, thank you.
We're doing this on a Wednesday, so not Sunday supper is for Sunday, but we can call this, a little caveat.
Any day of the week can be Sunday supper, all right?
Hey, I like that. So, Matt, we're going live too right now. So, what do we? What are you cooking up for us? We got the rosemary focaccia right here.
Yes.
Dude,
So-
this is smelling up some type of way in this.
And this is a burn down first, by the
Yeah.
way.
Dude,
by the
So
way.
this
listen,
is-
I always like to be a first, never a last. all
Yeah,
right?
that's it, baby.
So what we have here to start, we have a rosemary Sicilian sea salt focaccia. This is 72-hour ferment. So what we do is it's 48 hours in the fridge, 24 hours we leave it out at room temp. We let that baby rise, and you'll see all these beautiful nooks and crannies. And then we just finish it with a very beautiful olive oil from Francesco Pepe. Shout out to you. And guys, dig in. That's going to be our little first
little
bite.
appetizer?
Do we
Little
go right
tease.
into it?
Go right in, guys.
What do we?
No.
We got some wine. What do we got
Are we
drink?
doing wine? Are we doing tequila? Is the wine big first and tequila's later? Like, what do we?
Well, you guys tell me. I mean, if you guys want to get a little wild, we can start with a little tequila. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're to get. Come on, dealer's choice here. You like?
All right. You know what? I drove 2 hours. We'll start with tequila.
Yeah.
Let's start with a little tequila.
It's 5 o'clock. I mean, it is 5:05,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
5 o'clock. We're
You know
okay.
what's wild is
So-
I feel like I'm watching like
We're on the- this is
the
like ABC News.
like ABC News, and it's like
So, guys, what we're drinking today is a Reposado from
Reposado
Quintalisa.
from
Fully
Quintalisa.
Beautiful-
Reposado from where?
Quintalisa. It's called.
Quintalisa.
They're a beautiful organic brand that I just started
smells
working
nice.
with. You're going to get really nice sipping notes. There's no additives. This is as best as you can get.
Fantastic.
So you kind of take in the aroma. And this, honestly, is going to pair perfect with cigars. So, gentlemen,
Salud.
So
thank
as
you
we
for
like to
having
say
us.
on the show, boys, cheers, chin chin, and salud.
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 boy. Salud.
Prost.
Prost for the Germans out there.
Smooth.
Damn, that shit is
Smooth.
Did you guys
smooth.
did you guys put some of the butter in the glass? I don't know.
Yeah, for real. Wow.
First thing I thought, I was like, dang, that is buttery.
I might have
Yeah.
I might have to do a little DJ footlong, DJ Slick Rick. Right now.
It's kind of nice, man.
It's
It's actually perfect because it's like this one ear is the ear that's away from everybody, so I hear them clearly here, but then I
Yeah.
get to hear the check.
No, for
over
sure.
here.
We do it.
One of us has to because it's a check.
Yeah.
Because every once in a while, if you bump into the mic, it gets loose and you hear the buzzing. But if you don't, it happened before. We don't have the headphones in, and that buzzing comes, and then you hear the playback, and you're like, what the fuck? Was that? Just went 2 hours and there's a buzz the whole thing. Yeah.
6 years
that's
doing
the
this, we covered a lot of
Yeah.
ground.
We got
a
a
lot of
comment that
stuff.
says, "Man, I'm getting ready to hit the gym, and you guys are killing me." From Big Matt Daddy.
That's
Well,
hilarious.
And
Big
then
Matt Daddy.
Habanos Habit says Quintalisa is the best. So
The best for sure.
Damn.
stuff.
Yes.
All right.
all right.
So, what do we got here?
All right.
nice.
So
who wants to eat first? We gotta get
well,
plates.
hold,
right?
so we got that right.
All right, we got
that's
that.
the appetizer.
all right. And
And
now what we have, guys, I'm gonna get a little seductive right now. Because what we have
Nice.
Oh man, I got
is
both ears.
what we have is my staple. This is why my wife married me. This is why she probably won't leave me either when she wants to kill me. We have my spicy vodka rigatoni. So what we do, this takes 2 days to make, okay? First, what we do is we start with an emulsion of garlic and onion sofrito. Cook that low and slow for about 2 to 3 hours. Once that's beautifully rendered, nice caramelized, we take that, pair that with heavy cream. Reduce that down. Pecorino Romano, tomato paste, San Marzano tomatoes. Bring all those together to make a beautiful marriage. And then we just let it simmer for a little bit. And
This is 2 days in the making.
2 days in the making, boys. I took my time for you guys, okay?
Damn.
So, and now,
Oh, this is gonna be something else. This is gonna be,
Can we dip the bread in the sauce over there or what?
well,
okay, listen.
maybe
You guys are all you guys are all sitting, so you could do it. If anyone passes out, I don't know any.
No one's liable. No one's
Is it
liable.
that
Alright.
good? Is it that? All right, listen, I'm
All
doing
right,
it.
listen. This is what that's to me that's the Sunday supper test. So pick your poison,
Alright.
get a little
Here
focaccia,
you go, Adrian.
and get a little dipsy in the bread. Let me get a little.
Little dipsy.
Little dipsy
boy.
whipsy.
A little dip will do you. Come on,
Oh,
son,
I gotta
let's
get a
go.
little bit.
Yeah,
more
come
than
on.
that.
You gotta do a little scarpetta.
Oh,
Don't be afraid.
Gotta
baby.
get in here.
Don't be afraid.
All right. Salud, boys.
Salud.
Manja bene, boys.
Manja. Fuck me. Damn. No, that.
Let me tell you something. I just went from 6 to midnight,
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might be 4 guys in here, but I'm fucking rock hard right now.
This
I'm not even
table,
kidding.
did the table just go up a couple? You know.
I thought I heard
Oh,
something.
that is super creamy.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculously creamy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a little bit of spice at the end. It's not meant to overpower. I hate when you go out to eat and you get spicy vodka sauce and it's just a blast of chili.
Sure.
Oh my
It's
God.
you're gonna blow your palate. There's no need. Just like anything else in life, wine, tequila, cigar. You want it to be a nice, smooth flavor. You don't want it to blow your palate.
That's amazing, man. I mean, you could tell it's made with love.
Of course, guys,
I mean,
come on.
That shit
Oh
is
my-
bananas.
You think I'll give you guys anything
You know
less?
what I'm saying?
Appreciate
You know what I'm saying? Molto bene.
Yeah.
Molto bene.
You sure this guy's an Italian?
Oh
Hey.
my gosh.
Beautiful. Beautiful,
Molto
man.
bene.
So now, you want to start going?
Yeah. So
All
okay.
right,
So
ready? All right.
I don't even. This is like a whole. This is a
This is
Whole new
like-
experience for us.
Yeah, I forgot how to podcast. All right, so we got the focaccia, we got the spicy. This is a spicy rigatoni. Here's the sauce. Okay,
Yes.
and
Now,
then we have your
we have
rigatoni.
As a rigatoni. Shout
Okay.
out to the Checo, my
Checo.
favorite,
Okay.
my favorite pasta brand.
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
And we're just gonna get. a
Oh my
big
gosh!
yeah, boys. This might get a little bit messy.
It's all right.
I apologize to your wife in advance.
This is beautiful.
We don't clean the studio.
Oh,
so.
perfect. Okay.
Come on, this is a man
Yeah,
cave.
this is a little
All right,
man
we don't
cave
clean no
going
man
on.
cave.
All right, perfect.
We leave it raw.
Christen it with a little vodka sauce.
There we go.
On the
Yeah,
table,
exactly.
you know?
Come on. It ferments in the studio, so
Yeah,
it
it
takes
gets
out the
it
cigar
becomes part of
smell.
the
Oh,
studio.
you guys gonna be calling me if this flavor starts.
Dude,
to
I
smell.
got it, dude. This like
What do you need?
I'm
A
going. back.
little bit of water.
Oh, no problem. Gosh.
Sous chef, get the water.
So, chef.
Thank you, chef.
Yes, chef.
Thank you, chef. Yes, chef.
You guys are learning very quick. I
Yes,
like
chef.
it.
I'm going back. I'm going back, baby.
You
Going
gotta
for
go
it, too?
back. Come on.
I'm going back for the little breadskis.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Adrian, have you ever had Matt's cooking before?
First time having Matt's cooking.
Damn, because you guys are new. You guys are newly friends. Or
Yeah,
friends?
Yeah.
we got acquainted very recently. Actually, social media, Instagram, came across Matt's profile, decided to just send him a positive message. Great stuff. Keep it going. Good luck in life. He responded back. We connected. He likes what I'm about. I like what he's about. And now we're here.
Now you guys are partners.
Yeah.
You're like collaborating on.
That-
I love it. I
Very,
love it.
very organic.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
That
man.
is this is gonna be my plate right here, by the way. That is a beautiful. We always talk about social media being a blessing and a curse,
Yes.
right?
For sure.
Depending on how you use it. Some people, it's a curse. They just sit and they scroll all day. And they just But the way you guys met through social media, that's the blessing of it. You
Yes.
just found somebody you're like, hey, I can relate to this guy. I'm just gonna,
Yes.
with no like alter. You're not trying to sell him anything. You're just
Yeah.
reaching out to, hey, listen. I just want to wish you all the best. God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And he thought the same thing. And next thing you know, you guys are friends.
Yeah.
You know how many people we've met doing this on the show, or just they reached out and then we said, hey, want to come on the show? And they come on the show, and now we're friends. And it's like,
Yeah, so it's funny because Matt and I were talking. So it's NY Cigar Club, right? New York. Matt's on the New Jersey side. We connected, and he's hit the ground running in behalf of the club. So we're getting a lot of traction from the New Jersey side now.
Nice.
Setting up meetings with people, venue owners, and whatnot. So it's interesting and unique what can come of just a simple message. You never know.
You never
That's
know.
how you grow.
Yeah.
That's how you expand your network and your reach.
Yeah, and to speak on the character of Adrian, I mean, we literally had a half-hour conversation, and right away he was like, "Tell me what I could do to help you." And I was like, "Oh, but like, what about you?" He's like, "No. Don't worry about me." He's like, "What can I do to help you?" And it's really hard to find people that kind of have that in them anymore.
Yeah.
People don't have that.
Everyone has their own agenda.
Yeah, everybody.
well,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
Everybody's got this ulterior mode, like
Yes.
and it's tough because being from the Northeast, being from New York, New Jersey, right? I feel like by nature we have this skepticism that when somebody reaches out and they say like, "Hey, how's it?" and you're like,
Why? What are you up to?
What are you selling?
What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
And by the way, I just out the corner of my eye, I saw the amount of butter that you just put in that. Oh my god! That's like reminiscent of like Paula Dean level of butter. That is some.
Let me tell you guys a real kitchen secret. Never go in the kitchen because you'll never want to know how much goes into the food. So I'll tell you right now, but it's gonna be good.
Oh, listen, come on. Put the butter. Put the whole thing of butter in there.
I'll do it. Don't you test me. I'll do it. You got a little olive oil.
The butter. Listen, as long as it's good butter, man.
Just you got to get a video. You got to get a video.
I know.
Of the
Well, I was
drizzle.
just looking at this. So we got a couple of another. 00 Cigars watching, and he said, "Bro, live pasta, sign me up."
Come on down, my man.
Yeah,
Come
bro.
on.
So hold on, let's do a quick little. I'm gonna do a quick little thing right here.
That's looking amazing. Oh my goodness.
Video.
It's coming together. It's coming together.
Oh my god!
I wish you guys could smell it.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
smell through the
you can't.
camera. God bless.
Oh, we
Wish
got
you guys were here.
focaccia, We got stogies.
Not because that means less for
we
us.
Got tequila in Daddy's sippy cup. And we got the spicy rigatoni.
Okay. So now what we're gonna do in good measure?
Take a sip first.
Oh, sip we gotta. This is like.
Take a sip.
I feel like like usually I'm asking all these questions. I feel like I'm just watching. Just
watch.
like
Just
give me
watch.
the fucking food.
Listen.
Listen,
mesmerizing.
I'm at work today.
Just
You
give me
guys
the
get
food.
to relax
Just give me
now.
the food, man.
So now we have beautiful.
It's snowing.
Oh,
It's
look at
snowing
it.
in
Look at
May.
it.
All
Here it
right,
goes.
little aged Parmigiano Reggiano.
Damn.
My cousin smuggled this in her bag. God bless you. Shout out to Roberta.
Is that illegal
no,
cheese?
no tariff here, baby.
Tariff-free cheese.
Tariff-free Parmigiano.
Shit, man. Look at that snow.
Oh my goodness.
I'm getting chilly over here.
Yeah.
Hope nobody's lactose intolerant.
Nope. Thankfully not.
There's no such thing as carbs today.
Yeah.
No. You need them anyway.
You ever see that guy? Every time I see somebody do that,
Guy from Barstool.
it's like he goes. You see, you hear it slap, and the guy's like, "Yeah, it's so good. It looks like your mother's ass."
Oh, the
Cooch.
skinny kid.
Yeah.
Cooch.
Cooch.
Yeah.
Cooch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "You want to know how you make good pasta?" It's like,
Yup.
Yeah, but he was throwing down in the kitchen, man. He was
Yeah.
making some good stuff.
He was
he
getting
goes,
it, man.
the sandwich. He goes, "Sandwich looks so good, I want to give you a heart attack."
This might give you a heart attack. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But you know what? It's all right. I got Lipitor in the car.
Dude, that looks.
Listen, every once in a while, it's okay to indulge.
Every once
you
in a
know?
while. Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. Once a week.
Every Sunday.
4 times a year. 4 times a
You
month.
eat clean throughout the week so you can eat whatever the fuck you. Why do you think you work out? So you can eat whatever the hell you want.
That is
That
a
is the
fact.
truth.
Now,
Like-
besides me waiting for Matt's delicious meal here, Adrian has brought us some goodies that I want to rock on the pod right now.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you brought us
we
some
had,
NY
like-
Cigar
Yeah,
members only.
This is
vests.
like a double.
I
This
did.
is like a double interview. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, people don't realize this is a double, right? Like these guys are became friends, and it's not like lifelong friends. You guys are new friends, but we have a double interview here. We have Matt over here, the executive chef.
No,
right?
no, just chef.
Just chef. Just chef.
Just
No,
chef.
I'm not too cocky.
He's the executive
I'm the-
chef of the BDP studio.
Exactly.
Okay?
That's it. That's it.
I
you
like
go.
that.
You know, and then we have Adrian New York Cigar Club. So we have two ongoing interviews in the same thing. So
Yeah.
to Eric's point,
Food and cigars.
Adrian
And
brought
good people.
Adrian, yeah,
Classic
clap,
man.
clap.
So-
Adrian
Damn.
brought us some goodies.
If I may,
Look
we
at
always
this.
I have a couple of vests for you gentlemen.
Thank you,
boy.
brother. Look
All
at
right.
this.
NY Cigar Club member vests.
Oh, this is gonna be a
Okay.
great,
Nice.
great.
There you go.
Dude,
There you go. That's
I'm
for you
throwing
guys.
this on right
And
now.
just to touch on the vests. So as we were talking about earlier, so NY Cigar Club is really a community. It's a community of cigar enthusiasts.
Okay.
Right? Back in 2015, I was doing cigar dinners for my buddies' restaurants on Long Island, and I created a little name, NY Cigar Club. It's evolved. You know, we were packing out 125, 150 people at restaurants, and recently I was like, how can we take this to the next level? Social media, the way of the world, networking, right? And guys like to do things. I'm an experienced guy. So NY Cigar Club.
Hold on. I never heard that before. I'm an experienced guy.
Experienced guy. Let me explain.
Guys like to do stuff.
Break it down for
Yes.
us.
So cigar dinners, cigar pairings, right? Brand releases. It's great. We support it. We go to them. But it's all guys sitting around a table, having dinner or networking, right? Clay shooting, pheasant hunting,
Nice.
car rallies, fishing trips, golf outings, all
Man shit.
of that stuff is what NY Cigar Club is about. Yeah. Yeah, and it's not for everybody. You know, some guys don't like to do certain things, but that's totally fine. You know, when you're part of the club, you're part of a community because it goes beyond that. You know, like Matt said earlier, it's all about helping, you know, and it's organic. So I think you want to say something about your food because you're waiting.
No. I'm listening. I'm getting intrigued by you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you know, when you wear the NY Cigar Club vest or you join the club, you're just joining a community of people that all share a passion for cigars. That's it. This is first and foremost. We smoke, we enjoy. If we could help each other along the way, that's great. If we could do cool things along the way, that's even better. So, you know, we welcome everyone to join. Membership is actually free. It doesn't cost you anything to join.
That's the kicker right there. Membership is free.
So we're members now.
Yeah.
We just became official
membership
members.
is
You've been
free.
blessed.
Listen, because we all have careers, right? This is something we do on the side. It's a passion of ours. So it may get there. I'm not worried about it. I want to create a space for people to come together, enjoy their cigars, enjoy new experiences, meet new people, network, and just expand your palate for what you enjoy.
Love it.
Yeah.
I
It's a
love
great
it.
cause,
See,
man.
that's what cigars are all about. That's our motto here at the Burn Down Podcast is we are bringing people together one cigar at a time, right? And that's what New York Cigar Club is about, is just bringing people together
Correct.
that like cigars. Let's all get together. And if it's one day you're golf outing, if it's one day you're doing pheasant hunting, if you're going skeet shooting, if you're cooking, whatever, if you're just hanging out in the backyard or barbecuing, right? You're watching a football game. It's just like a club
Exactly.
that people can say, hey, this is what we're doing this weekend. Who wants to come join?
Yeah. Yep. Because most of the time, right, as guys, whether you're engaged or have a girlfriend or have a wife, it takes a lot for guys to come together, plan something, and actually commit to it and do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you talk about, oh, we're going to go to AC, oh, we're going to go golf this weekend, oh, we're going to go this, and it doesn't happen. So let me serve as the organizer. You come, you want to come, you come. You don't, catch you on the next one. But everything will be set up, everything will be organized, and you participate if you like. Simple.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
And you,
I love that.
And you work or previous Burn Down Podcast guest.
I did.
Giuseppe Cigars, Joe
San
Bonanno.
Giuseppe. Yeah, Joe
San Giuseppe
Bonanno. Yeah.
Cigars.
Joe Bonanno and I are friends for over a decade.
Oh,
He was
wow.
at my wedding party. He was one of my groomsmen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know Joe
Wow,
for a
wow,
long
wow.
time. Great guy, great company. They're doing a lot of big things. Very happy for them.
How did you and Joe become friends?
So my cousin owned a restaurant, still does actually, Mio Posto. Okay, and Joe frequented the restaurant, and so did I. And it was one of those connections, organic.
Yeah.
Again, we would see each other on a regular, and there was always that mutual respect. You know, when you run into some guys, if you go to a bar or a lounge or a
You
cigar
can just
spot,
feel it.
you feel it. So you eventually strike up a conversation, and that's what we did. It turned from a "How you doing?" to "Hey, what's going on? Where are you from?" to "You're at my wedding."
That's crazy.
Years later.
That's
so
crazy.
yeah, and now he's got his cigar business, and he's doing phenomenal things. So it's all good. You know,
That's great, man.
Organic is the best way. You know.
And I want to know what's in here. So because you have
I'm waiting.
Coppola Cigar. Do you want to
Yep.
wait for
no,
this?
No, I was waiting for you to ask.
Because we got the food and the drink out, so I don't want to
So
get.
I may want to break this out before, so it doesn't get dirty.
That's
so
exactly why.
Coppola Cigar Co. is another company that I own. Cigar cases, luxury cigar cases. I designed them. The whole premise for this particular case was because I like my iPad. I like to go to the cigar lounge, bring my iPad. Sometimes when I'm by myself, put the headphones on, watch a video, watch a podcast, do some work. And I thought for sure somebody would have created a case where you could bring your iPad and your cigars and your accessories all in one, and it does not exist.
Wow.
So I was like,
Really?
let me design this thing. And I went to work, drawing, specking, measurements, connecting with leather manufacturers and importers, learning about different rivets and zippers, the whole nine, from scratch. Like, I got a design degree myself, in the streets of
Yeah, you
Manhattan
immersed yourself into
in
it.
a couple of months. So pretty much this is what they turned out to be. This particular case is one of my higher end cases. This is ostrich from South Africa.
Wow.
Grade A ostrich. Okay, handcrafted, individual in Manhattan.
Damn.
You have an exterior pocket here if you'd like to slip some mail or some paperwork and whatnot. And then you open it up, and you have a whole slot. You could bring your iPad. You could fit an iPad in there.
Or like 10 cigars.
Or
20
cigars. Or if you're a reader, you could bring a book or a notepad. You have a cigar slot here, and you have your accessory pockets.
That's
Cutter,
awesome.
lighter, and a little rest spot. So it's all handcrafted in Manhattan. I make them in small batch. When they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
When I make more, I make more.
Is that the only color you have?
In the ostrich, yes. But if you go to the website, CoppolaCigarCo.com, you'll see I have other colors. There's other leathers.
Why did you pick this color? Red's my favorite color.
It stands out. It's quite all right.
It's a cigar case. You're supposed to get
it pops. It pops. You know.
It does.
So, and I like to be a little different. You know, the typical cigar colors are tobacco, browns, tans, beiges. You know, stuff like that. So this, if you walk down the block holding this as a businessman, leaving a meeting,
people can be like, "What's?"
They're
in
gonna
it?
be like, "What is that thing?
Yeah. What's in that thing?" Yeah.
And that's the beauty.
And what are the
of
other colors you got?
There's brown, there's blue, and there's black.
And are they all different leathers?
So the ostrich is the only particular red that I have, but then there's the smaller case, which is your everyday carry case. You know, there's companies out there that have them, but these are mine.
Yeah.
Again, this leather is imported from Italy. Again, made in Manhattan. So it's a cigar pocket, and then I give you 4 accessory slots.
Very nice.
It fits business cards, it fits key fobs, it fits AirPods. So if you're not a cigar guy, you can buy this as an everyday man's case.
Yeah.
Take it with you traveling, whatnot, you know.
I like the little handle too. That's nice.
Yeah,
nice
listen,
touch.
it's just about creativity, right? My brain doesn't stop. If it has to do with cigars, if it has to do with design, if it has to do with networking, helping, I'm all in, you know. Even anyone watching, you know, feel free to reach out in any which way, shape, or form. If you have a business, you know, let's see what we can get rolling. That's what it's about. You know, we're thankful for being on your podcast, by the way. I want to say that. Thank you
again, guys.
Matt and I both are very thankful for having us.
We're happy to have you guys on.
Yeah, you guys are doing great things for the community, and you know, it seems like our visions are aligned. It's bringing people together and enjoying our smokes. Right?
That's what it's about, man. Now, what does something like that go for?
So these smaller cases retail for $400.
Okay.
This one is, like I said, is the higher end. This case is $1,500, but all of the other leathers for this particular case are $485.
But that's the ostrich.
The ostrich, you know,
High quality.
Listen,
for the quality.
I have a pair of ostrich cowboy boots that are not cheap. So,
so you know,
Fancy
there's
guy.
a whole process about what goes into it. You know, from
now, do you have thoughts of going with other leathers as well? Like thinking about maybe a, I don't know, like any sort of alligator or snake skin or.
So they're on the website. Yep, you can choose your leather. I also have a bespoke section on the website. If you reach out and you want to make a case, or you want to make a case for you, you could spec it out. We could choose the leather, the stitching, the pockets.
What are you limited to the types of leather, or can you just make a request and then you source it? Because I can think of 2 very exotic leathers right off the bat: is shark skin and stingray.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking of leathers that you make for cowboy boots, and stingray has a very
it's a texture.
It's a very noticeable mark as well. There's a white diamond from the stingray's. I think it's the stingray's belly, maybe, but there's like a white diamond that is very noticeable.
Yeah.
And if you have like a case that has that white diamond like right in the center of it, like that's a stingray case.
Absolutely. So it can be done.
And certain things like that too, like I've known that ostrich leather is actually it's a very delicate leather, meaning, you know, when it comes to like ostrich boots, you really don't want to get them wet. Okay, but there's other leathers that are more designed for like winter boots. Shark skin and stingray are very durable. Shark skin, I mean, lives in the water, so it's a very durable. So if you have a case that you're really wanting to protect, if you're in an environment where it's very wet, like in Seattle, where it rains all the damn time, maybe you don't want to get an ostrich skin because you don't want to get the case wet and damage it. So you get a shark skin, or you get bullhide, which is your common leather.
Yep.
So that's a whole nother market if you're in an area that's really, or if you want to take it on the boat, right? You don't want to take your ostrich skin on the boat because if you drop in the water, you're kind of fucked.
Exactly.
But take the shark skin one.
Yep.
Damn.
Absolutely.
There's your
little tidbit of information there.
Only reason I know this is because my wife's from Texas, and I got cowboy boots, and I learned all about it.
I like the red. The red is my favorite.
As soon as you pull that out, Eric's like, whoa.
And that's the that's what I get every time I show someone. It says that wow factor. You know,
Most
it's
definitely.
But that's true.
Stands
Well,
out.
you pull that out. You're in a business meeting, and you just pull that out. Like everybody comes in with a regular briefcase, and you pull out this red ostrich skin. People are like, "What the? Who the hell is this?
Who is
guy?
this guy?"
And
This
you're ready
guy
to go.
means whatever the price was just went up.
And you're ready to go right to the lounge afterwards to meet the guys. You know,
Love it.
business
Like,
and pleasure.
You
Right
come
here.
into like a sales meeting, and it's like, all right, what's the price going to cost? It costs this. The guy comes in with it. Instantly, it doubled.
Let's let him show it. Let's let him show it.
That's the negotiating factor. Bam, red ostrich.
All right. So
All
now,
right, so we're plated here.
so
All
we're
right,
plated.
we are plated, gentlemen. So
Damn.
the only thing that you guys have to do grab your fork,
Okay.
indulge.
Damn.
But listen, this is what I always say. When I cook for someone, you got to be honest. Don't bullshit me.
I will.
If it's not good, you tell me.
Fork.
Adrian,
Fork.
Thank you, sir.
let's
Fork.
go.
Are you eat? You
I just eat right out of the pot.
eat right out the pot.
Right out of
This,
the pot,
this is
bro.
like a live food review.
Exactly.
This was my plate that I had on.
No pressure.
All right, let's
No
try
pressure.
this, baby.
All right, guys.
Let me give you another piece of
There
focaccia.
you
I
go.
appreciate that. Thank
Right
you.
on the. Oh
All
my
right.
god.
Manja bene, everybody.
All right, boys and girls, first ever live food review. Matt Wasson, spicy rigatoni.
Here we go.
Already.
For the people that aren't watching, either live or watching this show afterwards, I'm just gonna give you a little ASMR here, right?
Yeah. Hey, you got cream in there?
No, where's that guy?
Oh my god.
You ever see that? You ever see the vanilla taster?
I'm falling out my mouth. So
You ever see the ice cream taster? When he's like the taste tester for Haagen-Dazs or Ben and Jerry's, whatever. When he's like, that cream, that vanilla,
ridiculous.
that's what.
Great job, brother.
Wow.
Yeah, this is
Phenomenal.
like this is
Now
an A++ right
That
here.
little bit of kick,
At the end.
Right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's like when you put your kid to bed, you give a little kiss on the forehead. Good night. I love you.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's the
So-
chef's kiss.
I want to
right
let you
there.
know I'm there, even in your dreams.
Wow.
You know I'm
That
there.
little spice at the end,
Yeah.
a little kick is fantastic.
So what a lot of people do is they use actual Calabrian chili flakes. I feel that when you do that, the heat overpowers it. I use whole pickled Calabrian chilies.
Whole pickled Calabrian chili.
Pickled. Okay.
So
Wow.
Damn. I can have like 8 plates of this.
But you know what I like? What I appreciate? Appreciate how you cook the pasta. The al dente. It's like a little.
it's
like
gotta be.
it's
Gotta be.
You gotta,
Gotta
be.
be.
I feel like that's the only way to. You gotta have a little bit of give on the pasta. You know,
Yeah.
especially with a rigatoni. Like if you have a spaghetti, it's kind of very thin. It's hard to have that give because it's so. But this, that little, and you kind of
that texture, you just gotta have a little bit of chew.
a little
Yeah,
chew,
a little chew.
little chew,
Little chew.
little kick. That's it, man.
But that's the thing. Listen, fresh pasta is beautiful, and I respect people that do it. But when you have a beautiful dried pasta like the Checo, it really helps.
Right here's
And-
now we're gonna do the ultimate. Listen, we're gonna get
What do
all
you
the
got?
senses.
What do you got?
Do all senses here, ready?
Oh, there we
Let's
go.
do a little stogie
Oh,
and then go back.
There you go.
Yeah.
this is true. Now, where did your passion for cooking come into place?
So honestly, if I tell you guys the story of when I first cooked, you'll die laughing.
Let's hear it.
Let's
I
go. We got
started-
time.
That's why we have it on here.
I started working in a restaurant at 16. I started as a busboy. I was making bruschetta and olive oil and balsamic trays. And then I thought to myself, I can cook. This is it. I go home. Parents are like, what do you want for dinner? I was like, I got it. So I said, all right, I'm
How
going
old
to
are
make...
you? How old?
I was 16. So I was like, I'm going to make a plate of cavatelli with sausage and broccoli rabe. So I got the garlic in the pan, the olive oil, sausages in there. Take the broccoli rabe out of the water into the hot olive oil.
Splat.
All of a sudden,
Water.
I incinerate my parents' kitchen.
Oh my goodness.
You'll only do that once.
Yeah, exactly. And to this day, the burn mark is still there. And my mom, I look at it and we just laugh because thank God I don't do that anymore.
That's your trademark.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but you know what? It almost. I always think like everything happens for a reason, right? There's like God's got a plan for you, right? And He's got and everything happens for a reason. What if that didn't happen to you? Like, what
Exactly.
if you would have? Maybe it would have been like, and maybe you wouldn't have gone down. Maybe it would have made
Yeah.
a different path because it was too easy right off the bat. But
So-
then you did this, and like now this is a memory. It's like I'm not
Exactly.
gonna do that again. And it puts you on a different. And now you became like maybe that caused you to become a better chef
Yeah.
because you had such a.
So I never wanted to cook. I never had an actual passion for it. I was just a fat kid growing up, and I loved eating. Like Sunday morning to me, like I always tell people that there's this thing of Sunday scaries that did not exist to me. When Sunday came, I was excited. I was like, hey, I know today.
You were gonna eat.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna go. We're gonna wake up. We're gonna have a tray of meatballs ready, not in the sauce, a little breakfast. Then we're gonna go to church. After church, I get to pick out what kind of pasta I wanted to have, and then that was it. 3 o'clock and on, I was eating.
Wow.
And then
It's
so
like
I
a whole
went to,
thing, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I went to school for management in the beginning. I was like, okay, like maybe I'll just open a restaurant, open like a cafe, and then slowly I started getting back into cooking, and I was like, I think I like it. And then I started my job in the city. I used to work for Sony Music, and then at night I would go to culinary school till midnight, and then graduated, and then it's been up ever since, so to speak.
History ever since.
Yeah,
God bless.
exactly.
Now,
This is so good, man.
this question for both you guys, but I'll ask Adrian first. What a mouthful of focaccia.
Should I crack open-
Get
should I
me
crack-
before it goes in.
Should I crack open some wine, or are we gonna drink the wine with the meatballs?
What is your
Ooh,
favorite
that's a good
Italian
idea.
dish?
Should we do that?
That's a good idea.
Or a few of your favorite Italian dishes?
I'm a pasta guy.
Okay.
Okay, I am just and when I tell you pasta guy, right? So everyone likes pasta, but I want 3 or 4 plates of pasta,
Sure.
right?
Who doesn't?
And 9 times out of 10, even if there is an array of food, I'll just keep loading up on the pasta. I don't know. It's something that fills me, makes me feel good, and I enjoy it. This is my go-to. Absolutely. And then I'm a big, just traditional meatballs guy. Spaghetti meatballs. I go to what fills me, right, and makes me feel good. And the meat, the pasta, the sauce.
I mean, it's a classic dish.
That's
it's
it.
a staple.
Most people, the chicken dishes and whatnot, but eggplants.
Sometimes
Pasta.
when you get a
Pasta
chicken
meatballs
parm,
is
it's too
fine.
much. You
That's
get like a whole platter like chicken parm, and you can only eat like half of it, and it kind of like
Yeah, you're done.
takes away the feeling of like this is what's good.
You know what I used to eat all the time? I ate a lot. Ate as a kid, and then I ate even more in college because you don't have any money in college, and you don't really know how to cook. Make some pasta, butter, and cheese.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to eat that all the time with my dad because when I was younger, my dad would work like the afternoon shifts. My mom was in the morning, so then my dad would make pasta, butter, and cheese, and we would watch this guy called the Frugal Gourmet. I didn't have cable, so it was like Channel 2. Right? Some guy who was making whatever, and I'd sit there and watch. I think it was like in kindergarten or some shit. With pasta, butter, and cheese. And to this day, I actually hadn't had it in a long time, and I had it like maybe a few months ago. I was like, dang. Because you put all the butter and the cheese, and if you have like nice cheese on it, you get to the bottom, you get those last couple of bites, and you just scoop up all the butter and the cheese. Oh,
yeah.
man, is that good.
See, but you just saw how you attributed something to that memory.
Yeah.
That's what food is about.
Oh.
That is the
Exactly.
biggest thing.
Exactly.
But this, I gotta be honest, this right here reminds me of Italy.
Don't make it bad. Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
This reminds me of the pasta that I had in Italy. Like just the creaminess and
The creaminess
and
is wild.
And none of the flavors are overpowering. A lot of the American style food, some of them they put too much of one thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is just everything's balanced. It's
That's honestly what it is. If you can balance a dish, to me, that's the biggest thing that any compliment that I see you could get in the kitchen.
Yeah, my wife, whenever it's like our go-to pasta dish, talking about pasta, if it's like we don't know what to cook for dinner, we always just do garlic oil, peas, broccoli. I don't know if there's anything better than just garlic and pasta. Garlic oil and pasta,
No.
little peas, little broccoli. Forget.
That's always my go-to.
Yeah?
Yeah. When I get home from work and if I'm lazy and I want to cook something quick, it's usually leftovers out of the fridge because I don't want to cook when I get out of work. But
Just a little jambot.
Yeah. But if I do, a little pasta aglio olio, the best.
Damn.
Can't go wrong.
And then I think
Cigar Critic
uh-oh.
just said, Adrian, New York Cigar Club's in the house. The Cigar Critic.
So the Cigar Critic is a gentleman. His name is William. We become friends through the club. Again, like Matt and I have nothing but great things to say about that man.
Shout out to William.
Shout out to William,
I feel
the
like he's
Cigar
been
Critic.
popping up on Instagram more and more recently.
He's got
Yeah.
the check mark too, man. So you
Yeah.
know
He's official.
William has such an extensive collection of cigars that maybe you guys want to have him on here to bring his display.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. You guys can talk to him offline. But William,
Okay.
good man, great cigars, good stuff.
Fantastic. I love it. Now, are you making meatballs too?
Oh, I got meatballs. Guys.
Oh, you got meatballs.
I got meatballs.
Because
Oh my God, he said meatballs.
my wife and all my in-laws all Italian.
Okay.
My mother-in-law, I think, makes some of the best meatballs, and I think the secret for her is until I met my wife and my mother-in-law, she puts pieces of bread in her meatballs,
Okay.
and it is the best thing I've ever. I don't know if that's how you feel, but for me, I feel like it's like the best touch in a meatball.
I think my wife called you before I
Yeah?
came on here because when I used to make my meatballs before I met my wife, I didn't do bread, and then she goes, "Please put the bread." And I started doing it, and Mary, I'll give it to you. She was right. She was
It
right.
is delicious.
She's usually always right.
You are always right, but this time you're really right.
But this time I'm acknowledging that you're right.
I don't want to sleep on the couch right. You're actually right. But I
I'm
think,
acknowledging that you're right.
yeah.
Can I get a little bit more of that tequila?
Please, sir.
Just
Please.
Pour it up.
Let me
get a little.
Pour it
Oh,
up.
please.
Actually, that sounds lovely.
You know
I
what I'm
think,
saying?
I think we all need a little refill.
Because we're gonna pour out the wine when we have the meatballs, but get a little.
Little topper. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, baby. Slow down.
No one should.
So
Everybody see Rush Hour?
Oh.
She's getting undressed. Slow down. Slow down.
Man, what you doing? Man, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, she
So
got black
Matt,
on black.
What
Victoria's
was,
Secret,
what was
page 11.
the bottle of wine? So when Matt and I had our first face-to-face meeting, we met over at the General, which is the club.
In
Yep.
East Meadow, yeah.
So I'm a member of the General again, a big fan. Shout out to those guys; they're doing great things. It's the premier cigar lounge.
Great
on Long
spot.
Island.
That's where I had my
Phenomenal.
That's where I had my baby shower.
Beautiful
At the General Club.
Yep.
All class, that is.
It was
All
great.
class.
It was fucking great.
They run the establishment the way that a cigar lounge should be run. The space is beautiful.
Yeah.
So Matt and I had a meeting, and we order a bottle of wine, and the waitress brings over the bottle of wine. He goes, "I can't believe this." So just tell them the story, just how things align. You know, I'm big into that. You know, signs.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
things happen for a reason.
Couldn't agree more with Adrian. I'm very big into that. I feel like they're like little winks from God. So we sit down. He goes, "You want to have a drink?" I said, "Sure, okay." He goes, "What are you gonna have?" "I'm gonna do Chianti." I was like, "All right, I'll do Chianti." The girl comes back. She says, "I'm sorry, we actually don't have it by the glass. We only have a bottle." Adrian's like, "Are you good?" And I was like, "I'm fine." So she brings it down. It was Castello Venenzano. Now, I believe it's now 8 years ago. First time I went to Italy with my family, we went to a winery. You go to the winery. The lady goes, "Is anybody here from New York?" I raise my hand. The only one. She's like, "Oh, nice. Okay." And she's like, "Is anyone here from Staten Island?" And then I raised my hand again. She goes, "Seriously?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" She's like, "Okay." She's like, "Do you know why this is called Castello Verenzano?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Because the Verrazano Bridge."
No, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So a settler left Italy, and however way he got ended up in Staten Island. When he got there, he made such an impression, they gifted him 3 rocks out of the ocean. I don't know where it is. I'm not a geography guy, but they were green, white, and red. Then he gifted them 3 stones from the bell tower of the Castello. So now when you go to Italy, you see 3 rocks in their house etched in. And then when you go to the park in Staten Island under the Verrazano Bridge, you see the 3 cobblestones.
Shit.
So when they put that bottle down, I looked at Adrian. I was like, "This is good. This is a good sign."
The stars are aligning.
And the wine was phenomenal.
Wow. That is a
Cool.
wild story.
Stuff like that's great, right?
It's the best.
But see, that's the stuff that that's not a coincidence. Like
It's
you had
not.
said, it's a wink from God. Like
Yeah.
that's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love
That has like divine intervention.
Yeah.
That's God's plan coming together.
Yep. Agreed.
So I wanted to ask you this because you've been on the Food Network, you've been on Chopped,
Yes.
and then Chow
Chow
House, right?
Correct.
I was calling it Cook Italy.
Yeah.
It's like
I'll take
I'm like,
it.
what's that show you were on? Cook Italy. He's like
You
Chow
know,
House. I'm like,
yeah,
that's the one.
yeah, same thing. It's all right.
Typical Justin. So my first question for you was, Chopped seems like a brutal, it's like a knife to the throat type of show. Is it like that in real life?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I thought it was all bullshit. Little did I know, it is not.
It's all
Everything is real.
really.
You get the basket in front of you. They say, "Open the basket," and then
Go time.
you're cooking. And then, literally in front of you, is a monitor the size of probably this room that has a clock that's just constantly going. Then you have another clock on your cooking station. Then you have 2 producers tucked underneath your cooking table telling you the time every 5 minutes.
No.
And
So
then-
you're like,
and then-
it's ingrained.
It's
like,
in So now I'm there cooking, and then they're like, 5 minutes, and I'm like sweating and stressing, and they're like, "Look at the camera, say something funny." And I'm like, "What do you want me to say right now? I'm making pasta. Leave me alone."
They're under the table.
They're under the table.
Every
and with a
table,
camera.
every table.
Every cooking station has 1 producer and 1 camera operator right
Under
there
the- oh my
under the
gosh.
table, tucked, and they're like this, staring right at you.
So you come over to make pasta, and there's a guy just like, say something.
Looking at me. Yeah.
Wow.
And what did you have to cook? What was the basket that you got?
So I did a blind date episode, which was I was paired with a random chef. We didn't meet. We didn't speak. I didn't know how she cooked, what she cooked, her skill of cooking, and then we just had to go. So each basket was love-themed, so to speak. So the first basket was oysters, rosé. Oh my God, I can't even tell you. So we did, which I thought worked out pretty. We did like a fried oyster with a rosé mignette, which worked out pretty good. Then the second one was a sweetheart steak, and then I got butchered for cutting it up. But you know what? I want to do something different. Sue me.
Oh, they
No pun
like
intended.
don't cut the steak and you
Yeah,
sliced it.
and I sliced it and I tried to like braise it in the sauce, which it wasn't enough time. But Scott Conan said my flavor was there. I'll take that.
There you go.
And
You gotta
then,
take a risk, if you want to win, right?
And then the third course, I made an ice cream. Screwed myself.
Made an ice cream.
You always fail on the ice cream machine, and I did it.
Why is it?
It
Timing?
It overturned.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And you don't really have time to make like a creme anglaise and to get
Got
the
it.
base for it.
Like when you like sometimes like like guys grocery games or whatever, they make this stuff and then they make their food, but then it's like 10 people waiting.
Yeah.
It's like, so if you're the first person done and by the time the judges taste it, is it cold? Like how do they keep the food
So
warm?
that's actually kind of, and I honestly commend all of the hosts. They are eating the food cold.
They are.
They are.
They are?
Yeah. There's
That's got to change the flavor, though.
It does, but at the end of the day, if your flavors kind of are there, they should stick out. Some of the stuff is tasted in the moment, but if you saw what goes into food production, it's actually crazy. So Chop, for example, I started at 6 a.m. We finished at midnight.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've heard
It's
that.
it is.
We've had executive chef Admir Alabasic. He owns One Rare Steakhouse in Scarsdale, and he was on Beating Bobby Flay, and he told me he did like 8 different takes from like 6 a.m. to like 12 a.m. Like, it was like no
it's
joke.
crazy. It's actually it's very stressful because you forget what you're doing. You forget like what you have to say, and everything that they film, you have to be in the present tense. So I would saying, yeah, I did this, and then they'd be like, cut, you are doing. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, I am doing this. So
Yeah,
But-
it's hard to actually cook something delicious while trying to quote unquote
Trying to like
Yeah.
follow
the
the
script,
whatever.
the script or the flow
yeah.
of the show.
Yeah, it really, you kind of get lost in it, but it's very challenging, but it's a lot of fun. I miss it.
And how
I
long
love-
ago were you on that show?
So Chopped was 2021, which we were still kind of in COVID. We filmed it at Patterson at the Knitting Factory, and the protocols were insane. We had to wear a mask when we weren't on camera. They have an
It
actual.
only makes you sweat more.
Yeah,
You're just
exactly.
like, you can't even breathe.
And then I filmed Ciao House in 2022 in Italy. I lived there for a month, which was pretty cool. That I
That's
love.
sick.
We had this.
yeah, how was it when you came back? You're like, why the fuck do I live here?
Yeah, literally. I was like, okay. A bowl of mozzarella is $8 now. Okay, I paid $1.
Yeah, you
I
start
remember-
eating everything here. You're like, dang, this sucks.
So we would have catered food every day on set, and every day it would be the same appetizers: fresh mozzarella, buffalo mozzarella, cherry tomatoes, basil. And after like the 28th day, we all looked at each other like, fucking mozzarella, like, gee, I can't take it anymore. And then now I miss it every day. I wish someone would give me a bowl.
How
of
Yeah.
what was that experience like living because you're like living on site essentially, right?
Yeah, we lived. They rented a villa in Tuscany for, I believe that we were there for probably like 28 days. And
Do you remember what villa it was?
I could probably pull it up. Yeah, I could. In San Borio, I believe.
I'm curious.
It is a hotel. It's a hotel and a wedding venue, and it's absolutely beautiful.
It's not Villa di Piazzano, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was gonna say because I stayed at when I was there for my honeymoon. I stayed at a villa it's a hotel. It was like this old, it's some really really wealthy person had sold it. Had this huge estate, and they sold it, and now it's like a hotel wedding venue in the middle of the hills of Tuscany. I was like, I'm sure there's a million villas.
Yeah.
But I was like, I saw like some of the videos, and I'm like, kinda
I
looks
wonder.
familiar. I don't know. It's probably not. There's like a million of them over there,
But yeah, it's super
but that
stressful.
area is beautiful.
Oh, let me tell you, my end goal, dream with all this, if I could somehow get involved with a wine company, have something out there, do like a little cooking school, and make it like an Airbnb experience, that to me is like,
Damn.
Sounds great. Yeah.
I would love that. But back to your question, it was really stressful. More the fact that we didn't have our phones,
Oh wow.
so and it was the same thing. Our call time would be anywhere from like 5 to 6 a.m. We would have to get ready. and you're doing different things. And so there would be one group cooking, and then another group would just be waiting, doing promotional stuff like your portraits, your headshots, and you can't help but think, okay, like, what's today's challenge? What do we have to do? So, like, all the time, because where we would film was this beautiful outdoor courtyard, and I would always be peeking my head out. And then I was very tan because it was the summer.
Yeah.
And you would just see this brown ball, like, sticking out the window, and the producer would come up, Matt, stop sticking your head out the window. I was like, I wasn't. They were like, you're brown and on camera. We see you. Like, I was like, sorry, guys.
Got him.
Sorry. So, but it was a really cool experience. Honestly, like, the people that we worked with on that show, Fresco Winery, the truffles we sourced, we worked
Fresco Baldi? The winery?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went there.
Yeah. So we did
place.
an episode there. Their wine was phenomenal. Their Vinsanto, unreal.
Well, I feel like all the wine Italy is just like...
I mean, yeah.
Now, this is a dumb question, but do you do, like, not just yourself, but when you go on Chow's, do you guys get paid to be on the show, or is it just because you get an exposure that's
So
free?
it's Chopped is exposure, and if you win the prize, you do win true 10,000. And then Chow House, you got a stipend every day, so it's $150 from them.
American or Euro?
American. I wish it was Euro.
I was gonna say that's like two something.
But honestly, it really is the exposure. It's kind of bringing like more awareness to like who you are as a chef, your brand,
and you also got a free 1 month stay in Italy.
Yeah, which I cannot complain.
That's kind of a
Can't complain.
That's kind of a bonus.
Yeah. So, but it's definitely something I would love to keep doing. It's a rush.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there is nothing else like having to perform in more than one aspect, because you're cooking, you're on camera, and you have to deliver in both, because if your dish isn't good, you're not staying on the show. And if your personality's not good, no one's going to want to see you again on TV.
You're not staying on the
Yeah,
show.
you're
They'll
not
purposely
staying.
kick you off, but you're done.
Like, you got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, what the frick was I just going to say? Oh, my God. I just lost it. Now, are you going to be planning on being on any other shows, or how do you maintain on staying on TV? Or
so
how does that work?
I get like public casting calls that come through a company that I work with, and then honestly, it's more about kind of finding the right fit that could showcase me, because I'm not going to just go on TV just to go on it. Like, I get calls for barbecue shows, baking shows. I have no idea. I respect those guys. I stay in my wheelhouse. They stay in theirs.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be an imposter and be like, yeah, I can bake a cake right now. You'll never want me to bake a cake. Never.
Well, there's a difference between being like a chef and a baker.
Yeah.
Oh, night and day.
Like, there's a lot of people think like, oh, you can bake. It's like, no.
No,
I'm a
no.
chef. I
Yeah.
can cook, but
Exactly.
baking is a totally different. And some people that are bakers can't cook.
Oh, of course.
Like, it's a totally different ball game, man.
My biggest thing that I always say is that anybody can be a cook. It's just time. So, for example, right, anyone else that's going to make a vodka sauce is going to take tomato out of a can, heavy cream, put it in a pot, mix it together, and serve it. But if you take actual time, manipulate the ingredients in the way that you want to, your result is night and day.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of bartending. There is a cocktail I'm sure everybody knows called an old fashioned.
Yes.
Right?
What? I've never heard that before.
No, I'm just, there's a point to this. So typically when you get an old fashioned in a restaurant, you go to the bar, you get old fashioned, they just mix. They put simple syrup with the simple syrup with bitters and the bourbon, and they put the cherry. They stir it up and they pour it.
Yeah.
Right. But that's not how you make an old fashioned.
Nope.
An old fashioned is supposed to have a raw sugar cube with bitters muddled. Then you pour the bourbon in. Then you take like an orange peel and you twist it. But it takes time
Exactly.
to muddle it to then the twist, but then the result is
Night and day.
night and day.
Night
When
and
you
day.
get a real traditional old fashioned, the result versus the quick one, because like I just got to get it out quick. So I usually put like simple syrup and they just mix it up. Like, but no, take your time, muddle it the way you're supposed to do it.
That's it. A lot of people want instant gratification with more than one aspect of life. I mean, I'm think honestly the same thing with you guys. Like, I've never had your cigar before, but just smoking it, it's incredibly enjoyable. It's super smooth for like a dark cigar.
Thank you.
And I usually don't always smoke. I usually smoke more of a mild to medium body. These are phenomenal. And yeah, so it's like it's the little things that you put into it, and then you get. It's just go the extra mile. It's all right.
You know, it's actually
gotta
really
put the work in.
What's good is this. So now I'm kind of thinking about the dish. This cigar, the Diligent, we always talk about. It's more of a milder cigar. Depending if you're a seasoned cigar smoker, if you enjoy cigars, this will probably be on the mild side.
Yeah.
If you're more of a novice, this might be more on the medium side. But it's a mild cigar, and a lot of people have said that it has just like a little kick to it, just a little bit. Right? It's not a lot. It's a mild cigar, but it's got a little bit of a kick. And I'm thinking it goes so well with this because this has just got a little bit of a kick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the pot, it's just enough so you know
That
that I'm there.
little kiss. That
Just
little
that
kiss.
Little.
Yeah.
So it's great because you have some of the pasta. It's got that little bit of kick. You have a little bit. This got a little
That's
bit.
it.
Of, you know.
Yeah.
So this is a two-person question. I'll start with Adrian first. How did you get into cigars, or where did the love for cigars come into place? And then Matt, the same question.
Everybody has a story, right?
course.
Everybody
That's what we
had
wanna
their
hear.
start. Not the best start. 16 years old.
That's when I started.
Bro, I was in black and mild in high school. Bro.
That's when I started, bro.
Black and mild in high school.
No black and mild. Sitting on the front porch with my father and all of his buddies. Naturally, whenever Dad was outside
And
with
where
his
you
guys.
from Long Island, right?
I grew up in Valley Stream.
Valley Stream,
grew up in
that's
Valley
right.
Stream. My
He's a
father grew up in
Nassau boy,
Queens.
like me, yeah.
Father was from Queens. Mother from Brooklyn. Moved out to Long Island. Got married. Had the family, and that's where I grew up. So, naturally every son wants to hang out with his father, especially if they look cool, right? So I'm like, what are you guys doing? What are you talking about? I'm here. And then one day it was one of his buddies that just turned to me and said, hey, Age, here. And then that's where it started.
Yeah.
I got my first puff.
How was it?
As a 16-year-old kid, I'm like, you know what? It wasn't the best experience taste-wise, but I saw what the cigar was about.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I started going on my own to cigar dinners, cigar lounges, when my guys weren't around or whatnot. And I got to experience like what the culture was about, what the social aspect of cigars is about. Then realizing when us guys, if we're away with the wives or family, you break away for an hour, having this, it's your time, right?
Right,
It's
yeah.
your time. The thoughts go, or you could just ease. So I got my start as a 16-year-old kid on the front stoop of my father's house, and then the rest is history.
Wow.
And
That's
I
awesome.
like how you said in the beginning, it was not the most pleasurable experience, and I kind of relate it to.
I would be surprised if you were 16 and
Right.
you're like, wow.
Yeah.
This is great. This is phenomenal.
I'm tasting butter and rose petals.
But I relate it. It's similar to if you're drinking bourbon or whiskey or tequila or anything like that. When you first try bourbon, it's disgusting. Whenever you first try it, I don't know, maybe 20 years old or 22 or 23, like. But it's an acquired taste. As you get older and you sip on it some more, then it's like, all right, you can drink bourbon and enjoy it. And then people that don't drink, like, how do you drink that stuff? I said, yeah, well, I didn't always love it.
Exactly.
You grow to appreciate it the more you have
Acquired
it.
taste is correct. Yes.
And I liked what you said is that the smoking the cigar wasn't really the thing for you. It was like seeing your dad with all his buddies and the camaraderie. And and that's a lot of what we talk about. And it's just really one of the main reasons why we love cigars is because it's not really always just a singular thing. It's a plural thing.
Well, it could
right?
be.
It's a,
That's
it's
the
a
beautiful thing is that it could be both.
It is, yeah.
It could be both. Like you said, you can take an hour by yourself, put on some tunes. I'll come out here in the backyard and I'll just put on some like doo-wop or Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin and the Rat Pack and all that stuff and just listen to the birds and might put on the hockey game, whatever, just chill.
Yeah.
But then you can also say, hey, I want to come in here. And I've had nights where we come in here and there's like 4 or 5 of us all smoking a cigar. You go to the lounge, you're having, hey, what's going on? Or you're on the golf course and you don't even care what you're smoking. You're just like, just give me a cigar, whack that, go find the ball, whack it again. Like, so it's both,
And I've had so many of my friends that never smoke cigars, but they like smoking cigars just because they just like to chill with the boys around the fire in the backyard or by the pool, and they just like to relax and have a good time. And
You know how many of my
really
friends I've gotten into cigars? Like there's a group of our friends, maybe, I don't know, 7 guys. And their wives or girlfriends or fiancés, whatever. And we first started hanging out with the group. And it was only me that really smoked cigars. And there was one other kid who smoked cigars, right? One other guy. And every time we'd meet, we'd be in the pool or whatever, and I'd be smoking a cigar. He would smoke a cigar. And I'd ask the guys, hey, you want a cigar? And they're like, nah. And like, hey, you want a cigar? Nah. Hey, I'll try a cigar. And then one guy came over. Because he saw us, we were smoking cigars, and we were having a good time. So one guy came over. Hey, can I try one? Sure, absolutely. give him a mild one. He tries it right. Then a couple of weeks go by, a month or so goes by. Another guy wants to come over, and then another guy comes over, and now like the whole group except for like one guy, everybody smokes. One guy has got a humidor filled with cigars. Another guy's got a humidor filled with cigars. Like, and they're all cigar, and they're all just, and they like they love it, and they love it. They go, I'm so glad you got me into cigars. I'm like, I didn't really do shit. You just kind of saw and like kind of you were intrigued and came over.
Well, you see what you just said? It was the social intrigue, right? So if you're not a cigar smoker, or if you've never had before or don't know anyone that does, you're not going to one day wake up and say, I'm going to go into the store, into the humidor and buy a cigar, because it's intimidating. Number one, if you're new to it, walking into that humidor, seeing boxes everywhere, right? Then you're looking at the price points, and then you're thinking to yourself, okay, are the more expensive ones the better ones? There's that aspect. But your buddies all saw the fact that you were coming together, you were having fun. It opens up the conversation, and it's something to do, instead of just sitting around.
Some of them would get like a whiff of it, and they make, man, that cigar smells good. What is that? I was like, oh, funny you should ask that. It's my cigar. And now they've had our cigars in their weddings and all sorts. And now they enjoy it, and they have the whole
beautiful.
Yeah, I remember.
Even my wife smokes now.
Bring one of my buddies. He smoked cigars, but he never went to a cigar lounge. So he was like, "Hey, Eric, you want to go to a cigar lounge with me?" I said, "Say less. Let's go." So we went, and we got our cigars. We're hanging out at the cigar lounge, and I said, "Listen, I bet you whoever sits around us, we start becoming friends with." He's like, "Really?"
Oh yeah, I remember this.
I'm like, "Watch." And he's like, "All right." So we're just me and him. We're hanging out, and then this first group of guys come. Nothing really goes on. We kind of just do it, just shoot the shit. Hey, what's going on? But no reciprocation. They leave after an hour. Then it's like they were older gentlemen. Then a group of 4 guys more our age, late 20s, early 30s, and I said, "Wow, we're gonna become friends with these guys." He's like, "What are you talking about?" So I initially see them struggling with the little box of matches, right? They have like the little box of matches trying to light the cigar. I can't do it.
No
torch.
torch.
The torch lighters.
Yeah.
So I said, "Hey guys, you want a torch?" They're like, "Yo, that'll be sick." Blah blah blah. As soon as we hand the torch over, "Yo, where you guys from? What do you guys do?" "A police officer."
Done.
I'm
There you
this.
go.
Done. And then it was another 2 or 3 hours the whole
Mm-hmm.
time. We were talking. He's like, "Holy shit, man! You called that?" And I was like, "Listen, bro, this is what happens."
Yeah, it's not a bar. You're not sitting there having a drink. You don't know what's going on through some of those guys' heads, right? You go to a restaurant, maybe someone's waiting for a date, or you go to a bar, some guys maybe going through it, just wants to sit and have his drink.
Yeah.
This is social. You can have a cigar by yourself, and that's totally fine. But chances are, even if that person that goes out and wants to have a cigar by themselves, if you start a conversation, they'll reciprocate. They'll give you the benefit of the doubt, and they'll have the chit chat, even if it's for a short amount of time, and then they'll go back to it. But they won't just blow you off.
100%.
So
There's a very small percentage that will ever do that, but we don't like those people. So Matt, go back to our original question. How did you get into cigars? Because I love seeing you with the cigar in the mouth cooking. It's it's a great scene. It's a great scene.
I asked you before. I was like, "Is it gonna be like smoking cigars and cooking? Is that?" You're like, "Dude, I smoke cigars while I'm cooking."
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Say less. Do it.
It's seasoning. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
a little ashy nail, a little.
honestly, so I grew up in Brooklyn on 18th Avenue, and when me and my dad would kind of walk the strip back when it was what it was. You see all these guys outside the social club, the hats on, the cigars like hanging out of their mouth. Half the time they weren't even lit, just talking.
They're chewing on
I
it.
doing. And I'm like, these guys seem like cool guys. I gotta hang out with these guys. But then as we got older, then The Sopranos came out, and there's the iconic scene of him just driving, puffing.
I'm a fool to do your dirty work. Oh yeah.
So
I love the scene with the dead guy in the coffin. And he's just like, there's no smoke in it. He's like, I don't think he minds, but he don't mind.
You don't mind. Yeah, but then me and my friend Joe, we would work in the restaurant together, and we looked at each other. We're like, I think I want to have a cigar. It's like, yeah, me too. It's like, I want to try one. So we tell one of the cooks, like, go get us a cigar because we're 16, can't buy it. He comes back with like a Dutch master or something, and we're sitting outside. We're outside the restaurant. We're all dirty. We just cleaned. We got our shirts untucked. And we're just having a cigar. We're like, we're men.
And you're 16?
Yeah.
So 16, there you go.
Yeah. I was like, we're adults, right? Look at us, man. We're close.
2 guys from Brooklyn.
Smoking
Who's better?
Smoking like a 50-cent stick, man.
Exactly.
Smoking pencil shit.
And then, we kept like doing that, and then we kind of got away from it. And then every now and then I would go into cigar lounge, humidor, and I really just started liking it. And then I started kind of really venturing out and having all these different types of cigars and just like meeting people and hanging out and shooting the shit. And I was like, this is a lot of fun. Like, this is nice. And honestly, this is the one thing that I probably do that I don't have to think.
Great point.
I feel like probably my brain 98% of the time is going. And when I have a cigar and I kind of just like, my shoulders go down, relaxing, just kind of like enjoying the moment. And even like the same thing to go back to him with like camaraderie and meeting people. Last week I was in St. Bart's, my brother-in-law's bachelor party. I have a cigar. I have no lighter. So I see another guy smoking a cigar. I'm like, hey, you have a lighter? He's like, yeah, here you go. The guy grew up 10 minutes away from me in Brooklyn.
Sick.
I ended up at his table. We're talking about restaurants. We're laughing. And mind you, I thought this guy was like some Russian oligarch from some random place. Grew up in Sheepshead Bay.
Sick.
So like,
That's
literally,
wild,
yeah,
man.
all because
Wild.
I asked him a lot. And then we were hanging out with him, and I never knew this guy. I look at this guy, saw what we were doing, just like judge him, was like, oh, he's probably like some foreign guy. Turns out just a local guy from Brooklyn. And we're dying laughing. His wife knows my family. We're going back and
Holy
forth.
crap.
And then before you know it, like, I made a connection. We exchanged phone numbers and would not have existed because of this.
100%.
Dude, that's like,
Yeah.
dude, tell him the story about what's his name.
I was just gonna say so I have a friend Dominic. He's from Chicago. So on my honeymoon, I went to Aruba. So as we're checking in, there's this big Italian family making noise. Oh, what's going on, man? And somehow, I forgot how we got connected. I don't know if my wife said something like, "Hey, these are my type of people," yada yada yada. So I ended up becoming me and this guy Dom ended up being buddies. And I was like, I had a feeling. I'm like, you like cigars? She's like, bro, I fucking love cigars. My wife's like, here we go. My honeymoon is over.
Here we go.
we
So
go.
that's it. I'll see you on the plane.
So for a couple of days, we were there for a week in Aruba. There's plenty of times where me and him were just hanging out with my wife and his family. We hung out together, just smoking cigars, doing stuff together, and then we remain friends still to this day. I was actually my brother and sister-in-law went to Chicago. I just texted him the other day like, hey, what are some good spots in Chicago? But he owns a bespoke suit company. He's a clothing
Bespoke
company.
Below, it's called.
Bespoke Below. So when Justin got married, I said, listen, I know this guy in Chicago. He makes these bespoke tuxes. So we had him on the podcast, and he ended up doing Justin's tux for his
amazing.
wedding.
I love
Check
this.
this and check
I
this
gotta
shit
see
out,
it.
dude. Right?
And but one of his good friends owns a company called Never Ash Cigars. So one of the first, and he's from Chicago as well, one of his childhood buddies, and he goes, hey, my buddy knows who you are. I'm like, what the fuck, what are you talking about? And he goes, my buddy owns Never Ash. And I go, holy shit. So we connected over that. We had him on the podcast. So it's just, again, you meet people that you would never know over a cigar.
Absolutely.
So check this out. So he did this whole tux.
Gentlemen.
Sharp.
But what, look at this. Look at the liner.
Oh, come
Cigar
on.
He did
liners.
cigars with cutters and everything. So Eric hooked me up with this guy, and he did it all virtual. Like we did a FaceTime, and he goes, I said, hey, do you have to like what do we have to do? He goes, I'll do a FaceTime with you. Just get your
Measurements.
fiance,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you what to measure. He measured like 20 different things, and then I asked him, I said, hey, can you do like what customizations can I do? He goes, I can do whatever you want. What do you want? I was like, can you make the liner like cigar print? He goes, yeah, no problem. I'll look something up. So he sent me a couple, and I'm like, I want to do that one. And I said, also, can I add like extra pockets? He goes, yeah, what do you want? I said, well, you know how you have like the two inside pockets, and then you have a smaller pocket that's usually for like a pen or something?
Yeah.
I said, I want two pockets on the bottom, one for a cutter and one for a lighter. And he's like, done. So I had extra pockets in there, and then he like did the stitching, and he stitched on the back. He stitched my wedding date on the inside.
Yeah, I love
like,
that.
Like he added anything extra that you wanted.
I love it.
He did it, and I was like, dude, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I had a spot that was literally perfect for my cutter and my lighter. It slides in perfect. It was awesome.
And the icing on the cake, because he said he's been coming through Aruba for years. His grandpa would take his family. I'm like, oh, what's your family do? What do you guys do back in Chicago? He's like, oh, my family's in sanitation. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
It sounds good.
We're gonna be best friends.
Say less.
Did we just
say
become
less.
best friends?
okay.
My wife's like, oh my God, here we go, here we go.
What do you do? I'm in sanitation.
Oh,
So I have a
I'm
funny.
a union
I
delegate.
have a funny story for you guys. So talking about the connection, meeting people, random places. So my wife and I get married during COVID times. Can't travel, right?
Yeah.
We were going to go to Italy. By the way, my wife used to work at the Carlton, which was the General. That's how we met.
Yeah.
So Naturally, she loves the fact that I smoke cigars, which is great for me. It doesn't bother her.
Listen,
God bless.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what are we going to do? We can't go, we can't travel, but let's go do something. It was December. It's like, let's go to Saratoga, right? Off season.
love Saratoga.
Our first time.
Love it.
This is a great
Go to
story.
Saratoga, stay at this beautiful Adelphi hotel. Right across the
Love
street
that place,
from the
man.
Adelphi is James and Son Tobacconist.
We're in there.
Yeah.
Yep, the only, right? So you know it, the only cigar spot in town. Every night, I'm in there. My wife is right next to me. First night, we meet this gentleman, older gentleman. Strike up a conversation in the lounge, you know, just chit-chatting. Oh, congratulations, while you're here, yada, yada, yada.
He owns the racetrack.
No. Very wealthy individual, but doesn't own the racetrack. So, being courteous, he extends the invite. Listen, you guys are in town for a week. If you ever want to connect, you know, here's my number, whatever. I take people up on their offers. Right? So, I wanted to wake up the next morning and take my wife for a nice sunrise somewhere up there, but it's December. I'm like, I should have thought this through. Cloudy, you know, cold, but we're up early. She looks at me after we're driving, realizing there's no sunrise. She goes, you're going to call him, aren't you? I said, yep, we're going to go have breakfast with this guy. We're going to go to his house. So I call him up. I'm like, hey, Art, what are you doing? How are you, Adrian? Good to hear from you. You want to come by? Yeah. Stop at the bakery, pick up some pastries, go to his house, have breakfast. Spent the whole day, took us all around Saratoga, showing us the lakes and this and that and all the historic spots. To this day, I'm still friends with this guy. He lives up the block from the racetrack. Anytime you want to come, Adrian, you park in my driveway, you walk up the track. So we go.
Amazing.
What's the biggest race at the end of the season? It's like the biggest race.
in
Right?
June, right?
August, I think.
Travers? No,
Travis, is it? It's one of the biggest ones.
yeah.
But anyway, so I didn't realize.
I think it's Travers. I think it's Travers, the one up there.
Yep.
Because
So-
there's the three that we just actually had, just the
Because
Kentucky
my
Derby,
my
but-
brother-in-law's father every year goes to Saratoga for one of the big horse races, but I think it's like June, July-ish.
It could have been that. Forgive me if my timing is off. But
yeah,
anyway,
it's the Travers.
yep. So I go to my wife. Come on, let's go to Saratoga for the weekend. You know, not realizing that this was the date of this race. So now I'm looking at the hotel again to stay at, and it went from, I think it was like 400 a night, 500 a night when we went in December.
1,200.
3,000 a night.
Oh, yeah.
3,000.
Oh, yeah.
3,000 a night.
That's race day. Come on, man.
Hey, Art, what are you doing, buddy? You're around this weekend?
Extra large?
You're coming up? I was like, listen, I'm coming up with the wife and the kids. I have no problem staying like one town over. I want to come see you, hang out. You stay in my house. You come. I was like, Art, I got the kids. Adrian, my house is your house. What a gentleman.
Wow.
All over a cigar.
That's amazing.
That's how it starts.
That's amazing.
He's still up there?
He's still up there. We're going up in May to Bike Week because we ride. So we're going up to Bike Week, Lake
nice.
George. We're going to make a trip down to Saratoga. It's about 30 minutes away. We'll connect with Art. We'll go support the lounge.
What are you doing in June?
When?
June 21st?
To be specific.
Well, my daughter is due to be born June 17th. So depending, I'll either be in the hospital or I'll be home.
Well,
Congratulations.
speaking of Saratoga and James and Sons Tobacco, so we're actually doing an event in the coat room.
Yeah.
It's called Spa Habana Nights in the Spa City. So
Okay.
there's a so for people that don't know, there's a June 21st at the coat room in Saratoga Springs. There's an event called Habana Nights in the Havana Nights in the Cigars in the Spa City, and we will be. There's 3 floors, so there's 3 different like levels to tickets. We're going to be on the rooftop, which is the VIP ticket, and your ticket includes. There's going to be food, there's going to be drinks, there's going to be cigars, there's going to be a Cuban band, it's going to be all night long, and there's different
Phenomenal.
levels.
That's phenomenal.
So you know who's coming out? You know Mia Brands?
Yeah.
She lives in Puerto Rico. She's gonna fly in from Puerto Rico.
I got a couple buddies coming up.
to
We're going to
bring
be
up there.
staying at the Bluebird Motel, I think it's called.
I'm staying with my wife's cousin. who
Oh,
lives
you
in-
are?
Nice.
Oh,
Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I was thinking about going up 2 nights because we're staying the 1 night. I might ask him like, hey, can we 2 nights in the Adelphi instead of the. But
Yeah, my wife's cousin lives right.
I don't know
in
if she lives.
Saratoga.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
love Saratoga. I
Well,
love Saratoga.
depending on my situation at that time, I
Could be a
Well, I
good
mean,
reason
I'd
to
like to be
celebrate.
there.
Listen, if you're not, I totally understand, right? Because
I'd love to come. I'd love to support.
I'll be texting you if your daughter's born. I'll text
Yeah.
3 days later.
Like, what are you doing?
Why
What
are
are
you
you
not
doing?
here?
Why aren't you here? What are you doing?
She's okay. She's not going anywhere.
It's
She's old
June.
enough.
We can
you know.
watch the sunrise.
Well, funny story. So my first son was born in in October, and every year I do a bike trip with all the guys, and a bunch of the members of the club they ride. So I do a trip every year, and
What kind of bike you have?
Harley Street Glide Special, beautiful bike.
So let me ask you really quick before we finish the story. Is this a thing with the Harley thing? The arm out? Like when you pass another Harley, everybody puts like
yeah, well, it's a respect thing.
Is that that's
like,
a thing?
Like 2 fingers down, whatnot. It's just respect. That's it.
You ever hear about that thing?
No.
It's like Harleys. Like if you see another Harley and you guys pass each other like on the highway.
Well, it's like when you have a Jeep. You
Yeah,
a Jeep,
yeah.
they give you a little salute. Like,
Yeah.
hi.
Like you put like-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a Jeep, and I was
Same.
like, why are all you guys honking at me? What am I
Same.
doing?
Yeah.
It's motorcycles in general. It's not just a
Oh, it
Harley
is?
thing.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see guys passing each other or women passing each other, and they'll put the arm down. It's just respect. That's it.
even like the crotch rocket bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone that rides,
I feel like it's a big difference between people that are like those crotch.
That's
like,
I've heard that
the ones
too.
that are cruising.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
my
the cruise.
father-in-law
The cruise.
used to have a Harley, like the low rider, high handlebar, just cruising. Like,
Can you smoke a cigar on a bike?
I do.
Because
not at high speed, but I do.
I've seen a guy. I was going up to Cape Cod and I saw this guy on a big red motorcycle. He had this big fat cigar. I'm like, how the hell does he?
it doesn't stay lit, but it's just.
yeah.
You
It doesn't stay
feel
lit.
like
The front of the cigar opens up.
Yeah,
it's
that's
crazy.
like that's like if you're golfing and you're in your cart.
Yeah.
You always got to keep the cigar inside the cart because if you're driving, you're
the
driving
wind.
like this, you're holding the thing
The
out here,
wind.
the wind. You take 2 puffs out of it, you get to the green, half your cigar's gone. You're like, what the fuck? The wind just sucked down half
Are
my
we still
cigar.
going live? Are we still? Up
I
and
think
on?
we. I don't know if anybody's watching, but
It's all
Oh,
right,
of course they're watching. But I'm just saying.
no, I think I looked at it and there was like nobody on, so I just. Let me see, but you're still up. Let me see. Yeah, you're still up.
All
we
right.
got. It says we got 2 people.
There we go.
There you go.
But yeah, it's still going.
I mean, how long?
It's still going.
It's been going on for over
But
an
that's
hour.
it. Yeah, love Saratoga. Love Saratoga.
great time.
People
Great
don't know
time.
Saratoga. That's what put it on the map. It's the horse racing, like capital of the world. I don't know about the world, but like that's
It's big.
That's
so
smart.
that there's the Saratoga. I think it's the national park. I think it's called. What's the hotel that's in the park?
There you go.
I forgot. There's a hotel in the park.
Same. I'm not a tequila guy at all, but
It's good.
fuck with. I
This
mean, I like
this is
a lot.
this is really smooth. And
good stuff.
there's no.
I
No,
still
I'm actually. I got a little here. I'm gonna when we get those meatballs going, I'm gonna do the wine.
Oh.
Wait, no.
Speaking of meatballs, while you guys are talking, should I get those?
I mean, we're an hour and 15 in.
Let's get those balls of meat going.
And like I
All
said,
right.
I got another like 45 minutes until I have to.
I'll get those balls up quick. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
I'll get the balls. But there's a place in Saratoga, in the park. I forgot what it's called. Very very high end hotel, and it's like a prestigious spot. And it's where all of the big wigs that when they came to watch the horse racing, all the rich and wealthy stayed in this place, and it still looks like the same to this day. And it's just like it's a gorgeous hotel. My parents stayed in there once when they went up.
Beautiful.
But I love the area.
What do you need? When you get it for you, what do you need?
Love the area.
need.
So let me get the. I'll get the wine opened up then.
Oh,
Yeah, great.
I actually have. I'm more of an Italian wine guy.
Do you need me to move? No.
Oh yeah, I'm just.
I'm more of an Italian wine guy, but
Yeah, I need that big guy. Yeah.
Let me get the
but I was gifted this for my birthday, and I don't know if I've had it. I don't really know much about it. I've heard of it before, but it's Belle Gloss Pinot Noir.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
So I figured let's
And those 3 cans right behind you.
let's get this lit.
Thank
Hold on.
you. Perfect.
But I figured let's let's have
I mean, might as well.
Sunday. You can't have
I'll start with 2 for now.
you can't have Sunday dinner without wine, right?
can't,
You know,
you can't.
you gotta have
Absolutely.
you know.
And while everyone's prepping, if I could still speak, I'll tell you.
Absolutely. Dude.
Tell you. Just a very good thing that this gentleman does. Art up in Saratoga. So he, through James and Son, they organize. Anyone that goes to the lounge, whether you're a member or a customer or whatnot, he collects money, and they feed the back track. So all of like the help at the track, and it's beautiful. They collect a decent amount of money, and it's on a weekly basis. It's all volunteer. They do it out of the goodness of their heart. They collect whatever they can, and he gets food, and they bring it to the guys and the ladies that all help out. Who does this? The gentleman that I connected with up in Saratoga, Arturo.
Anybody got your vino glasses?
I think we have them somewhere.
Thank you, sir.
It splashes into the meatballs, just a little extra
That's
flavor.
it. That's
okay.
literally.
It's good for me.
Okay, and I don't know where Eric's glass is, but
I got Eric's glass right here.
oh, perfect.
Meatballs with Matt Wasson.
How you doing?
Very good.
I'll put this down here. We got a little vino tasting.
There we go.
I love it.
I was gonna bring the vino, but once I got the tequila, I was like, all right, I got it.
No, this is Perfect. This is perfect. Oh, we got the sauce going in.
Going in, boys.
Oh man.
Get ready.
Oh man. Dude, this is next level right here.
So now I make my meatball sauce a little different. So I'll give you guys a little tutorial.
It's like we got a little shelf down here too. It's like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
just-
Perfect.
I gotta be honest. This is like, yeah.
I give it a week before some other chef reaches out to you. Hey, can I come cook for you guys?
Yeah,
I got to show this guy Matt up.
I gotta be honest. Like this is like when we first got in here with all the stuff, we were kind of moving. I'm like, man, I don't know how we're gonna fit all this stuff in here because we got the ashtray, we got all these things. But
This
we
is
made it work.
perfect.
We squeeze it all in there. We got tables extra.
This is intimate. This is up close and personal.
This is
You
what
know?
it is.
This is
Listen.
all right. So now I'll raise this up a little
I
higher,
had
right?
someone that I once cooked for that told me
Yeah.
a real chef can cook in any type of environment.
A real chef can cook in any type of
in any environment.
Well, have you ever seen those videos of the guys that are cooking like next to a river? Like and
Oh,
they pull like a rock.
Actually, their video, I give them credit. Not only are they cooking well, their videos are phenomenal, right? They look so
Yeah.
good.
They
right?
pull out like a stone and they wash the stone. With some, I'm like,
Yeah.
So I just
crazy.
watched an
Yeah.
episode of Chef's Table of the chef in Sorrento. And what he did, something I've never seen before, he took stones from the sea in Sorrento and literally just started making pasta with them.
with the stone.
Yeah, he put the stone in the sauce to extract all the flavor from it. And then just from there, just literally started cooking pasta with tomatoes and vongole.
Dude, so, you can cook with anything, right?
You cook with anything.
I've
With
seen.
anything.
I
do you
follow
mean
this.
I just need one spoon out of that. I'm sorry.
I watched
Thank
this
you.
guy. I've seen a couple of his videos. It's some. I forgot what his name is, but it's some like one of these guys that drops himself in the middle of the Alaskan wilderness and camps out like it, right? And he's like, yeah, I brought this like moose sausage or a moose rib, and I don't have anything to make. So he's like, but I found this tin can, and he bends the tin can into like a skillet, like, and then he's like, I'm just gonna. Or
that
he
works.
takes the
Well,
moose
exactly, it
the
works.
moose ribs. He's like, I'm gonna wrap it in tinfoil and just shove it in the coals and wait 3 hours. I'm like. And then he goes, I made this bread. And he takes the bread, he just throws it next to the coal, and he's like, and it comes out, and he goes, and I have this butter, and he makes this whole dinner, with
Out of
nothing,
nothing.
with
Out
like
of nothing.
some tin foil and a tin can. Like,
Listen, my family that's still in Italy, it's the same thing. We'll make what we have.
it's
That's what
I
that's
love
what it is. That's what it is.
And sometimes you get the best recipes like that, where
Well-
you're like, you're not planning on anything. You're just like, you open up the cabinets, you
Throw it
open up
together.
the fridge, you're like, what the hell do I got?
What do you got? Exactly.
And then you're like, this looks good. I was actually watching. I was going to the city for this this crazy bingo night called Bingo Loco.
okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of it. But
Oh,
I
saw that.
you gotta
yeah,
go,
yeah.
dude. It was wild. Like my wife's best friend was like, "Hey, it's my birthday. I want to go into the city, but I want to do something different. Let's go to bingo." And I'm like, "Fucking bingo, okay, right?" But it'd be lined up with a bunch of old ladies stamping their bingo, right? But it's like a club.
Yeah.
There's bingo, but it turns into a club, and there's music, and they got CO2 cannons, and there's confetti everywhere.
What is this
What
about?
the heck is this, Eric? GQ. Oh, okay. So like there's this bingo night, but we stopped at this little bar, and I'm watching this. I'm sitting there having a drink, and I'm watching the bartender. And the bartender is just like he's sitting there, and he's like, then he grabs a bottle, and he pours a little bit, takes a sip, and he's like, puts the bottle on the counter. He sits there, and then he goes, my phone. He sits there. He's like, in the camera. Takes another bottle, takes a sip. He's like, puts that back, grabs another bottle, and I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just creating a cocktail. He's like, everybody's handled at the bar, and I got extra time. He's like, so I just create cocktails in my free time. So he's sitting there, he's just pulling random stuff out the well everywhere. He's just tasting. He's like, yeah, that'll go, and he puts it in there. Yeah, that's not gonna go. And he's just like building shit together. He's like, I'm trying to revamp the spring menu. And I go, you're just building a cocktail right now.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's what I do. I just take
amazing.
random shit and I put them together. If it tastes good, then great. I make up a name and I put it on the menu.
My wife, I give her so much credit because she works in the medical field, so she'll be at work from 6 a.m., get home like 10 o'clock, and then like just knock out. And then I'll be getting home around midnight, and then I'll be in bed and I don't fall asleep right away, and I'm like, hey, what do you think if I put this and this together? Wake up.
Shut up, Matt.
Wake
up.
Should I go to bed? And
Shut
And
your
then when I
mouth.
still lived at home and I was still working in the city, I would actually go home after work, have a dish in my head, make it, and then just shake my mom at like 3 o'clock in the morning. You gotta taste this.
Shove the spoon in
Yeah,
her face.
literally. Here you go.
I love it.
This I made these meatballs I rolled out this morning, and to make sure they were perfect, that's how I wake up my wife. I have a picture
Shove
of
a
her.
meatball in her
That's what I did. I'm poking her. I'm like, you gotta wake up. Taste this meatball. And she's like, it's good. I was like, all right, go back to bed. That's it.
She's like, actually, give me another one.
That she did.
You got any more? You got some pasta? Go get the bread.
Now, does your wife cook at all, or do you consume that responsibility?
So my wife doesn't really cook. I shouldn't have killed me, but she's getting.
She doesn't
there.
need to. She's got. I mean,
Yeah, she's got me.
Yeah, I mean,
So
listen,
my wife is
that's
Egyptian.
not a bad thing.
My
she's
mother
Egyptian.
Egyptian, yes. So my mother-in-law makes all of these like old school Egyptian dishes, which is something I have no skill in, and I eat it. I eat it like an animal.
What is some
Like,
of the
yeah,
old
what's like
school
a-
Egyptian
So
dishes?
the kofta, oh my god, what else? The kunefa, her salads like tabbouleh, her hummus. Like I love. Like when I go out to eat, this is the last thing I want.
You want less than you want to tell
like
me.
so I go right away. I go Middle Eastern. I go Japanese. Those are my go-tos. Like give me
Japanese,
sushi,
yeah.
I will destroy
Dude, I could
sushi.
pound.
Destroy. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
We
you
went
get
out-
those boats, you'd be like, that's for me. What do you guys get?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
47
Exactly.
pieces of sushi.
We were one time we were at a sushi restaurant and the lady was like, "Oh no, this is too much." I was like, "You don't tell me. I tell you when I'm full."
Yeah,
That's
like,
hysterical.
yeah. You order like 3, 4, 5 rolls, and like that's too much food. Like,
Yeah, no, it's not.
you
No,
sure
it's
about
not.
that?
That's an
Like,
appetizer.
come back in a half an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
I want more.
Exactly. So
Yeah, you give me a good I like fried rice though. If you make a good fried rice, like a steak fried rice, I mean a good one, because sometimes you get the fried rice from like the Chinese place, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
talking if
it's
you have
BS.
like if it's on the menu and it's
Yeah.
a full,
Yeah.
and you make it a good fried. Oh,
You know what? Speaking of rice, another go-to, a quick meal. My wife will make. She'll make chicken cutlets, obviously thin and crispy. But then she loves rice. But I don't know if it's like she breaks spaghetti or what's the other thin?
angel hair,
Not angel. It's like someone to
Linguine?
see.
capellini.
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 I don't know if it's capellini or spaghetti, but she breaks it and then she cooks that first, then puts it in the rice. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
That's pretty good.
it's fucking.
That sounds
phenomenal.
cool, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It's also like 2 different textures. I kind of like
It's
that.
it's
Yeah.
soft and a little.
he's
and a
adding
little-
that. He's adding that to the menu.
Yeah.
It's really good.
We'll give you 10%. I promise.
Yeah. You do like broccoli, chicken cutlet, and with the rice.
So-
Forget it. It's so
All right,
good.
so tell us about these meatballs.
All right,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's
You
the
read
bread
my
in there.
mind. So speaking of recipes, my meatballs are a mix of my nonna's and mine. I always think to myself, how can I take an ingredient and highlight it? Keep like elevating it and bring it to the next level. So, traditional meatballs, beef, pork, and veal. My nonna did
Oh,
that.
you gotta have the veal.
But I do all beef.
Oh, beef. Okay.
So one
Well,
thing
that's from Goodfellas, right? You gotta have the veal. Come on.
Gotta have the veal. So my thing that I always want my food to be approachable. So I'm afraid of nuts, and if people don't eat pork, some people don't eat veal. Beef, approachable by everyone. How can I
Good.
elevate?
That's a good point.
How can I elevate the beef? Okay, first thing we do, we take beef bones, we roast them to a beautiful caramelized brown. Take the bone marrow out, scoop it out, put it into the beef stuffing. So we have beef, we have the, oh my god, blacking out here. The roasted bone marrow.
There's no time. There's no time here.
There's no time.
no
I know,
time
I think I'm.
You want me to get under the table? I got 3 minutes.
It's just,
I got 3
Laugh.
minutes.
Say something funny for the camera.
we don't have somebody on there.
So we do that, then we mix that with I take milk and I steep a garlic and shallot sofrito in the milk. So what happens when you do that, you're pulling out the flavors of that and infusing the milk. Pour that in, pecorino romano, parmesan reggiano, parsley, eggs, ricotta, which a lot of people don't do, a lot of black pepper. Black pepper and beef are best friends. Salt, then I lightly fry them. My nonna used to, I don't know how you guys grew up, but they were like black. My nonna would cook them till they're like
My
crisp
mother-in-law
ball.
is
Yeah.
it's crispy almost.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a nice
They're
little-
almost like deep fried.
Yes,
so to speak.
okay,
Mine are
exactly.
just like a very shallow fry, just to get a little color on the outside, a little Maillard reaction for all my chefs out there, and then I take the beef bones and I make a beef stock. Once the beef stock is done, I reduce it by half, so you get that super beefy flavor. San Marzano tomatoes, caramelized onions, the same garlic and shallot sofrito. Cook that together, puree it all so it's like nice and fine and smooth. And now that's what we're doing now. We're taking those finished meatballs, the finished sauce, marrying them together. And as soon as this starts going, you're going to get all that beefy aroma.
Ready for the beef.
And of course, the special ingredient, little bit of cigar smoke.
A little bit.
of cigar smoke.
Listen,
you throw that in there.
in Naples, when you get a pizza, before it comes to you, what they do is they take the pizza once it's cooked and they lift it to the top of the dome to get a little bit of the fume, a little bit of the smoke, because they always say that gives the pizza a little extra touch. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know
Whenever
that.
you go to a Neapolitan pizzeria, watch them.
They lift it up.
They're gonna see them. It's gonna be cooked. They're gonna spin it. They're gonna go underneath. They're gonna lift it to the top of the dome, and then they're gonna put it on the plate.
How to get a little smokiness.
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
It's almost like a.
Makes sense.
I feel like it's almost like a broiler too. Like you kind of like put it up to the top and get where all the heat is. Just broiler.
Well,
Really
at
quick,
900 degrees, you're cranking. Those ovens
Yeah, I
are
used to
no
make-
joke.
Listen, back in my day, I used to make some pizza, man. I used
So you'd
to.
be a little pizza out, throw it
I was a
down.
pizza. I could throw down, man. I
Yeah,
could make some
all
pizza.
right.
I was tossing it up in the air, catching it, making pizzas. You know, that's what my high school job was pizza. Well, I started as a delivery boy, and then you graduate.
Slowly move up.
So it's a little. There's a hierarchy in the pizzeria, right? There's the delivery boy, which you don't touch shit. Okay,
Yeah,
you touch
yeah.
the cardboard box, and that's it.
That's it.
You sit at the end of the bar and wait for them to give you an order, right? And then you kind of move up. Then you become like the counter person, right? And then you move up to maybe the cashier, right? Where now you're trustworthy to handle the money.
Yeah.
And then maybe you might go from delivery boy to the phones to the counter to the register, and then then you become, once you like the pizza maker. Like the pizza maker is in charge of the whole ensemble, right? The guy who's making the pizza, don't fuck with the guy who's making the pizza.
Yeah.
Give him the orders, get out of his way,
Yeah.
and he's gonna tell you what to do. And then once you got there, then it's like, all right, I run this shit.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, little kids come in, they're like, you go, oh, flip the pizza up. Like sometimes it's funny because like the little kid come in, but you don't have any orders. You're sitting there like, all right, I gotta make a fucking pizza.
Yeah.
Just make a regular pie or whatever, and the kids love it.
Let me tell you, two
What?
people I do give credit to: a pizza man on a Friday night and a bartender on a Saturday night.
Yeah, respect.
When you have all
Pizza
those
Fridays.
all those tickets in your window and you got to crank out pies to go, and then the bartender, when you have 20 different drinks, forget it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the busiest night that I worked was Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, forget it.
You want to know how many pies you got to crank out on Super Bowl Sunday,
Oh, yeah.
dude? Man, it's just like, it's a never-ending sea of tickets. Like, you get 5 out and 5 more come in. It's just like, all night long, you're just spinning pies, dude.
Yeah, my father used to own a pizzeria when I was a kid, and I was the box maker, right?
Yeah.
And it was just sitting there.
You could go through a stack in like 10
And I think I'm cranking. And then all of a sudden you just hear, Adrian, we need more boxes. I'm making boxes. What can I do? Throwing them out. They're falling over. I'm like, Dad, we need a small box. All right, I'm doing the best I can. Like,
You probably
boxes.
You probably make it so many boxes you do it in your sleep. You're like,
Oh, my God. Yeah. It's wild.
It's so
That's a
funny.
interesting
story.
business.
That's a good story.
It's funny you bring that up because there's always like, as the owner, right? As the owner of the pizzeria, they have like the record for running through a stack of boxes, right? And when you start making boxes, it takes a little while, right? You got to learn it, and then you get your groove, and then you can run through a stack, right?
Yeah.
And then there's always like, when it's downtime, they're like, all right, we need 2 stacks of boxes, and the owner comes out, he's like, all right, let's do it. And you both put the stacks, and he's just like
Cranking.
and he's like, you suck.
Yeah.
Come back when you're fast.
Yeah.
Because he's just ripping through the
Yep,
stack,
yep.
right? Because he's been doing it for 40 years. Like,
Yep.
That's
you think you're going fast, and he's got the whole stack done. You're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's like, I used to work at Lilia in Williamsburg, and we had ramps came in, and we would get them literally out of the ground in a box. And your first job when you work there is you have to prep. So I'm there, and I'm like, doing pretty good. The chef comes over to me. He goes, that's how many you did? He's like, yeah. It's like, okay. Does like 30. And then he looks at me. He was like, how long did that take you? How long did that take me? I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I
get
suck.
it.
I'm going to be over here.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this, because anytime we have anyone with an Italian background, I always like to ask this question because Justin is all German, right? Justin's all German. I call him the German missile over there. Me, I'm half Italian, quarter Irish, quarter Scandinavian. I have all my Italian traits.
Okay, there we go.
I grew up always calling it sauce. Then my in-laws, they all call it gravy.
Here it comes.
I'm actually curious to see what you're going to say.
What is... And then we have one of our friends, what's his name? Gentleman over there in the corner. What's his name? Straight from Italy. Ferio, right?
Oh, Dario.
Dario. So we were at a cigar with Dario, straight from Italy, off the boat. And I said, what do you call it? And what he said? He said he calls it marinade, I think.
Marinade.
Right? He said
So the
marinade.
question, to clarify this, is the stuff you put on pasta, the red stuff that you put on pasta, what is that called?
To me, it's sauce.
Sauce.
I'm just gonna give you my reasoning because a gravy I feel like goes on a meat, right? Like a meatloaf or whatnot.
Turkey.
Brown to me is a gravy. Red to me
Potatoes.
is a
So
sauce.
gravy on like mashed potato.
Yeah,
What about
you?
you?
Can call it whatever you want.
All right, so I'm gonna debunk this right now. If there's no meat in it, it's sauce.
Yeah.
If there's meat in it, it's gravy.
That's what I've heard before.
You know what I always said? I said if there's no flour in it, it's a sauce.
And I
If
think
there's a flour, it's a gravy. Because when you make a gravy, what do you have to do? You have to do a roux, which is flour. Then you make a gravy, right? But when you do a sauce, you don't put any flour in it. So you put the tomatoes. And you can put so a meat sauce could have meat in it. That's the way But I'm German, so like when we make a meat sauce, like a bolognese, it's a meat sauce.
See, I never called it that.
But when
A
you
lot of
put
people do
flour in it to make a roux, to make a gravy, like when you make a turkey and you put the flour afterwards, you put the flour to make a roux. So the gravy, that's funny how you say you put meat in it, it's a gravy. You
I've
don't
heard,
put meat.
which I've heard a lot of that before. I've heard
Yeah.
no meat, sauce, meat in it, gravy.
Gravy.
And I believe my grandma did the same thing. My grandma Jerry, she used to call the sauce, and then when she made sauce with meat, it was gravy. Because I didn't hear her call it gravy too often, but every once in a while I would hear her say it.
It's two completely different animals. You
Yeah.
gotta think about that. When you have a sauce, garlic, onion, that's it, tomatoes, done. Gravy for everybody is different. So like my nonna would only do sausage, spare rib, brajol, and meatballs. But you got people that they do pig's feet. They'll do this. They'll do that. They'll do the pig's skin. We never did that. So
Just don't put too many onions in a sauce.
Make sure
I put 2 small onions. Put 2 small onions.
make sure the garlic is sliced thin
Just
too.
make sure you go like nice.
Hey, the cigars floating around, guys.
Yeah,
Yes,
what
sir.
do you want? You want another?
blueprint you want
whatever's
diligent.
available.
I got a blueprint right here for you,
I'll
my
take
friend.
it. I enjoy it.
That's
Thank
a,
you.
That's a good.
You
That's a good.
got a cutter over there?
I do. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, I might have to light up
Yeah,
this will be a third of the day, man.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
running low.
Okay,
So
'cause
now-
I was sitting right there doing some work, man, with the stogie.
So now I got a question for you guys now.
Oh,
Okay.
here we go.
Adrian, you too. All right,
Fire
everybody.
All right.
By the way, this is your
thank
wine
you.
right here.
Favorite restaurants.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I'll tell you
That's
one of my
tough, dude.
recent favorite restaurants, and not just because he was a guest on my podcast, because I used to go to his restaurant before, but it's One Rare Italian Steakhouse in Scarsdale.
Okay.
My before that it was called Benjamin's in White Plains. Then he opened up and I went there, and it was fucking through the roof.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good. I did love another Italian restaurant that I won't name it because
Uh oh.
my wife and I used to love going there. It was one of our favorite spots up by me. And then I went, some of my buddies were throwing an event there, and a freaking rat ran across the second floor. And that killed it for my wife.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
Broad daylight, like
Well,
1
yeah,
o'clock.
That's tough too, because being in a restaurant we were talking about on the
It
show.
killed it for her.
It's like there's food everywhere. You can't be 100% certain that you don't have like a bug or you don't have.
But you can.
You can.
You
but
can.
The
You
thing
can
was,
and you can't.
The kitchen was
You
on
can
the
and you
first
can't.
floor. We're on the second floor, and like we were in the corner, and there was like a little wine cupboard, and like came out of the crevice of the corner.
Whoa.
I saw the family next to us. The lady's eye lit up, and like I was watching it scurry across the floor, and it wasn't registering what was going on. And I see my sister-in-law and my wife jump up, and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?"
See, like I feel like there's certain things that you can, like rats. I feel like you can be certain that you don't have any rats in your place. You know, a roach infestation. Like if you see little roaches running around, you have an infestation. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But like flies, ants.
No, that you can't do. Like
and
fruit flies,
the
you can't.
occasional,
Yeah.
the occasional, like big cockroach. If you see them running
Yeah.
around, like you know, it might pop in, right? And okay, but you have food everywhere. Like there's food everywhere, right? They might find a crevice and walk in.
Yep.
But it's when you have like an infestation, when you see the little tiny roaches running around,
Yeah.
that's when there's a problem.
Yeah.
Or if you see the rat, like I'm pretty sure you can have.
let's digress
you
from
know,
this.
but like,
But I brought it
people
up,
say,
my
"Oh, I
bad.
got a fly in my soup." It's like,
Yeah.
all right, like, dude,
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
it's
But
like,
another
all right,
one
like,
is
you can't.
I brought it up to you, but you said you live right by it. But it's, and I think one of Justin's as well. Sophia's in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Because have you been
Sophia,
there?
Adrian's
Oh,
been
yeah.
there too. Yeah, Adrian's
Because
been
you have a
Sophia,
nice restaurant up top, and then
Yep.
there's a restaurant, but a cigar
Cigar
lounge.
lounge.
You know that's
Baba.
members only now downstairs, right?
Is it really?
Yeah.
I used to go there all the time, and then one day I go back, and they're like, "Yeah, it's members only,"
Holy shit! So
and
we
they're
must
getting
have
a
went-
pretty penny to be a member there.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
But I went recently, and I just asked them if I was able to go down for dinner early before the rush, being respectful to their place.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, sure, no problem. And they let me down, and we smoked, we ate, and then we left. So,
Okay.
I feel like if you maybe call them and you
Yeah,
just
that's
explain
a
to
good
them, they'll
point.
let you
Yeah.
down. But
we were just there, what, like 2
2 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, we were just there 2 years ago, and we sat next to Tyrod Taylor when he was playing on the Giants.
Yeah,
But,
CC's a big one that goes there.
Okay.
Yeah.
He really like put them on. That whole area, like I remember, like I would pull up there and there was just a gated LP 640 right there, like right outside. I was like,
Inglewood, New
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah,
So I would say one of my favorites here on Long Island is Arlo in Northport.
okay,
Really, really nice spot. More just like an American. I mean, they have this beautiful seafood tower, which their crab cocktail in the seafood tower is out of this world.
I'm a sucker for the seafood
Oh
tower.
my gosh! But what I do is
Sucker for it.
I'm not a big clams guy. I love oysters. So the seafood tower comes with its raw oysters, clams, shrimp, crab cocktail, and lobster. But I always say, hey, take out the clams, double up on the oysters.
Why don't you like clams?
I don't know.
I feel like you never had a good one.
I don't know. Maybe
Mhm.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But
That's what it-
I
that's
love
what-
oysters. So I'm like, just double
If
up on
you
the
love
oysters.
oysters, which has usually a harder texture for a consumer to
But I
take,
love baked clams, so I don't know why I don't like the.
you haven't had a good clam.
Yeah.
I just went the other day when I landed in JFK. I went to Rendazzo's. It was like 9:30 at night. They were just closing. Oh man,
Good clams.
I got those cherry
Yeah,
stones.
So I would say,
have
dude,
too
so-
many favorite restaurants.
So well,
honestly.
Arlo's a good one, but Arlo's like your steak and seafood, right? Good Italian spots. There's Farm Italy in Huntington.
That place is stunning.
Farm Italy is
Stunning.
Yeah.
And speaking of like a spicy rigatoni, they make a spicy rigatoni there. Not quite as good as this one,
Thank
but they
you.
make a spicy rigatoni that's really freaking good. And then 110 Italian. That what I like about there is all of their pasta is homemade, in house. And the chef came out because we have friends that work there and we know the managers and stuff. And we went for a dinner once, and the chef came out and he sat with us, talked to us a little bit. And I asked him, I was like, "Hey, do you make your?" Because this is when I just got back from Italy.
Yeah.
When you're in Italy, everything is homemade. Like if you don't make your pasta homemade, it's like a sin. Like shame on you.
Yeah.
All of it's homemade, and it's 2 ingredients. It's eggs and flour, and that's it. And so I asked him, "Hey, He goes, "Yeah, everything we make except for one because they didn't have the machine. He goes, I don't have the machine to press it out, so I had to. But I'm getting the machine. So now they make everything homemade.
Yeah.
That's a good spot. And then I'm trying to think of like a good Japanese spot. Good Japanese spot. I just went there. Shoot, what was it? What was the name of it? It was in. Oh crap! Let me. I'll find it.
A classic Italian restaurant where I grew up. My brother used to work at Mama Lombardi's. I don't know if you ever heard of it in Holbrook.
No.
They have Mama Lombardi's and then Villa Lombardi's and Lombardi's on the Bay. Mama Lombardi's, staple.
What about Don Peps?
That sounds
No?
super familiar.
It's like right by JFK. It's a super famous. Entourage would always talk
Yeah,
about it.
you
That-
saying like that.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's why I know it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've never been there.
Oh, that's a good meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So being up this way, where we're at right now, did you ever go to Posto di Joey across from Prime?
No.
Check it out.
Posto
Great
di
Italian
Joey.
food. Phenomenal. Two brothers own it, Joey and Luigi. I know them personally. Great guys. You know, great food. Beautiful restaurant.
Where then?
Huntington.
Melville? Oh,
Yeah.
Huntington. Okay.
And then mine would be, if you guys know Manhattan, Campanola on First Ave.
Yeah.
Campanola is my go-to.
Yeah.
If you want to have an authentic Italian meal, intimate, that's the spot.
Wow. All right. Fair enough.
All right. Now, a second question for you guys.
I'm gonna find the place.
What's the biggest takeaway from you for a restaurant, from a consumer standpoint?
Oh, good question. Good question.
Other than the food, or
Other- The food always you want it to be
Food
good.
has to be, but
It has to be. But what do you think really? Because I have a very big opinion on this.
My thing is, I'm in sales, right? I'm about people. So if I'm coming for the first time or the 10th or the 20th time, I like the waiter or the waitress to converse, be knowledgeable, and just make the overall experience, even
Yes.
though you're there for
Yeah.
you're talking
Yeah.
to us. I think the wait staff providing a good experience is like second tier besides the food.
Yeah.
Because I like walking away and saying, those guys,
Yeah.
Dominic was the man, and that
Yeah.
guy was freaking cool as hell. And I get to know their life story and yada yada
yeah,
yada.
I would agree with that. I would say that the service almost takes precedence over or takes priority over the food.
100%.
Because
Yeah.
I would, as a consumer, I would much rather go to a restaurant that has exceptional service but maybe not as good a food versus a restaurant that has banging food but the service sucks.
Yeah.
And they make you feel like you're not even welcome there.
I don't
So
like
would-
when they
you
rush
know?
you out. They're like, there's like a time limit. They're like,
I mean, it.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
it. Because
It's turntables. They have to make their money.
Yeah.
But don't make it obvious. I don't like the obviously you don't want to be there for 3 hours, but I've been to places where they kind of like make it obvious. So they're like, all right, here you go.
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
Yeah.
So
All right, here's your check. And I'm like, bro,
my,
it's been
my rule of thumb for that, if you do that, buy them a drink.
buy them.
That happened to me once, many years ago in Manhattan. The guy came up to me, the manager. He was like, "Listen, I know you're out. I don't mean to rush you. We do need this table. If you would like, if you want to stay here, we'll buy you a drink at the bar. I just do need this table back."
That's
a
nice way to do it.
That
class.
is
That's
a
class.
classy move.
That's a nice way to do it.
And you'll never think of that place as, oh, they made me rush. You'd be like, that guy bought me a drink. The guy just saved me $50.
You know what's a really good touch too that I've been to is if, as the manager, I feel like if you should take an inventory, you should take a knowing to whose first time it is at your restaurant.
Yes.
And because I've been in places where it's people ask like, so have you guys been here before? And we're like, no, this is our first time. Like, oh well, welcome. Let me tell you about this, that. And then the manager will come over like, hey, I heard it's your first time here. I'd love to. Let me buy you guys a round of drinks. And guess what? Dessert's going to be on us tonight. Welcome to our. I hope you guys come back. That little touch goes a long way. Because I'm like, you know what? Now he goes, hey, my name is so and so. Thank you guys for coming. Drinks. This drink's on me. That dessert. And then you want to come back. Like, hey, that was a really nice guy. And then, but he makes
absolutely.
you want to
Yeah.
come back
Yeah,
because
exactly.
he's like, welcome to my welcome. Thank you for coming to my restaurant.
So I agree with everyone, and I agree with all the points, right? But I feel like those are the staples, right? Food has to be good, service has to be good, right? So take it a step further. I'm big on, since I have a construction background, the ambiance is important to me, right? Lighting
I was
is
just
my
gonna
first
say,
and foremost.
lighting.
Great
Everywhere
point.
I go, I look at lighting.
Okay.
Great point.
You want to be intimate, you want to feel rich and warm and welcoming, the lighting needs to be dim or warm. The bright lights, the bright whites, it's not for that setting.
But you also need to be able to read the menu.
Yeah, no. I'm
Because
not
sometimes it's
talking
too
about.
dim. I'm like, I can't.
And I'm not even.
That-
I'm not even
that
talking
turns
about.
people away.
I'm not even
You'd be
talking about
surprised.
the vibe has to be intimate across the board. But there are decor traits and lighting settings and everything just has to work. Because for me and my wife, we enjoy going to places we feel comfortable, right? And the food could be banging, the service could be great, but like if we're sitting there physically for an hour or so and something is off, it's a little bit like, all right, yeah, we'll come back. But we go to places we enjoy sitting at and feeling the presence of the restaurant.
That's a great point.
Because on top of that, to give credit to the restaurant owners, whether they designed it or hired a designer, they took the time to take that into consideration for people that are going to go sit there for the hour and spend their money there. Anyone could build a space, make great food, have great service, but not care about everything else. That's important. It's very important.
You know what else I think goes a long way is spacing between tables. And what I mean by that is some restaurants, I feel like there's too much. And I get why they do it because they're trying to, if they can add, they look at it as a numbers thing. They said, okay, well, if every two-top I have is going to be a $200 check, and I'm getting 3 of those a night, that's $600 a night, that's $3,000 in a weekend, that's $150,000 a year every two-top.
Yeah.
So if I can fit another two-top in, I get another $150,000 a year.
Yeah.
Another two-top, another $150,000. So they're thinking like that, but sometimes I feel like it's too close. Like when I can hear this conversation right next to me, I go, "You're too close to me."
But
Space it out a little bit.
To touch on that, I don't know how you guys feel when you go out to dinner. I love a busy restaurant. I love it.
busy,
I love Yeah.
but not overcrowded.
But not
I
where
get what you're
it's
saying.
taking
I
away
agree.
from
You don't want
like
to be
if I can reach over and touch what you're eating, I'm too close to you. Man. Like because now I feel like I came out to have a dinner with my wife, not to have a 4-top here.
I'll take
You
it
know?
one step further, and this seems like an obvious one, but a prestigiously clean bathroom.
Yes.
That
You walk
Okay.
into a bathroom and it smells like lemon
How do you
pie, and
feel
you're
about?
like,
How do you
I can
feel?
hang out in here.
How do you feel about bathroom attendants?
That was my next thing.
I have a funny story. Go ahead and I'll tell you.
Like, is that
last night, I will tell you
I
the
love to
story.
hear
You know what
I
I'm
am
saying?
not
Like,
a
is that
fan,
not
no.
yet? Because you feel obligated to. But you know what? I also get it because I'm like, when you go in there, I'm like, listen, I just want to take a piss and wash my hands and leave. Like, I don't want to feel obligated. But there's some bathroom attendants that come with a a smorgasbord of stuff, and they'll have like mince, and they'll have this, that, and the next thing. I'm like, you know what? You took the extra time because I know the restaurant didn't pay for that.
Yeah.
You went to the store, you bought some mince and lifesavers.
Yep.
I'm gonna appreciate. Thank you, a little extra spritz of cologne. I'm gonna grab some of those. I'll give you a couple bucks.
Yeah.
And I also know because I'm like, you're sitting in there, and you're, all night you're sitting in a bathroom.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I get it. It sucks, but if they take the extra mile to be like, hey, if I come up and they squirt the soap in your hands, they give you the thing, how was your night going, blah, 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 I'll give you a couple bucks. But
I'm
the
not a
ones that are
fan
just
of
like sitting in there and they have a thing and they're just like, they turn.
I'm not a fan of the squirting the soap in my hand. I just want to squirt the soap in my
No, but
hand.
I'm saying with
agree
like
with
the
that.
mints,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna take some of your mints. You know,
I
I'm
agree.
gonna
If
give
I
and
take the
take,
stuff,
right?
I take some
I'm
of the
gonna
stuff,
take a couple
I'll tip you.
mints,
But I don't
That's-
need.
and I'll give you a
my
couple
thing.
bucks.
I don't need the squirt. I don't need the paper towel. I appreciate it, but I don't need
Or
it.
at least say hi. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, how's your night going?
So
I'm
last
about to
night,
take a piss. I got to piss like a fucking racehorse. That's what I'm saying, okay?
so last night we had finished a successful project in the city for a client. They took us out to dinner, our team, and we go to Smith and Walensky's, and I'm using the restroom. I'm standing up, and you're doing your thing. Yeah, you know, guys.
You
walk
don't
in.
sit when you pee?
No, I stand up. So
I'm lazy. I like to
But
sit.
you know, I think everyone could feel the presence when someone walks in. You know, you're doing your thing. You're looking ahead. That's it. I finish. I go over to the sink. It's a woman in the bathroom, cleaning the mirrors, stacking the toiletries. Typically, they're supposed to wait for you to leave before you enter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I washed my hand. Didn't even bat an eye. She kept doing her thing, and I was like, okay.
Probably like,
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Times are changing. Maybe
Times
that's for
are
the
changing.
better. Times are
Interesting.
changing.
Yeah.
I mean, having a woman in there is, you know, it's a little bit better. You know, you can have a female presence.
Yeah. Well, depending on how you look at it. Right?
Yeah.
yes.
But no, yeah, that's funny you said because I love a clean bathroom, but the bathroom attendant. I also like when you're at the urinal and have like a TV or like a piece of newspaper and you can just stare right at it.
You're like, oh, this is
I
nice.
don't know. I get a
This is
30-second
nice.
briefing. What happened?
You know, it's another thing that I think is you need to have, and it doesn't need to be extremely extensive, but a good wine selection.
Yes.
Because some people, they have a very, very minimal wine selection. I'm like, I'm a big wine guy. And if you're going to have a minimal wine selection, you better have a damn good cocktail selection.
Yeah.
But if you don't have anything,
Yeah.
I'm like, but in your high-end restaurant, I'm like, you got to have. And it depends on what you're in. Like, I found out what the restaurant was. It was called Okaru. Okaru by Chef Mark Spitzer, the executive chef of Bonst in Manhattan. I don't know, but that's what my buddy said. But they're a Japanese restaurant, so they don't have this extensive like Italian wine list. But what they did have was an extensive list of Japanese whiskey. And I was like, okay, when in Rome, I'm going to have some Japanese whiskey.
Yeah.
And it was great. I tried this one, I tried that one. I go, but that goes with the vibe of the restaurant.
Absolutely.
But if you're at an Italian joint, you better have 50 different Italian wines,
Yeah.
more 100. Like
yeah.
if you're a high-end restaurant, that you better have pages on that book. And you better have, you know, some inexpensive bottles, some very expensive bottles, but you better have a list because that's the worst. Is when you go in there, I'm like, oh gosh, like
So you know what's funny? People, when they do buy wine, they buy it in two ways. They buy from the cheap side, and they buy from the expensive side.
yeah.
Middle price wines kind of die out. Because you either have someone that's like, hey, like they don't really drink wine, but they want to have a bottle at the table.
So they do inexpensive.
They do it, or they have someone that comes, they know what they're doing, and they're spending.
Or they want to impress.
That's true too.
They're on a first date or something. They want to impress.
Yeah.
But I feel like the middle ground of wines is where you can really find some like gold mines in there. Now, I love wines.
from a consumer
Yeah,
standpoint,
like I love
100%.
wines, and I almost drink exclusively Italian wines. I'm more particular to Chianti's, the Sangiovese grape. So Chianti's,
That's my
Brunello,
favorite
like,
grape. My
and
favorite grape.
but going to Italy and drinking a lot of wine over the years, and I've grown to know a little bit about certain wines, so I'll know what to look for. But then sometimes you go to a restaurant, I'm like, it's like there's no options, right? Where I'll look at a bottle, it's Chianti, and it's like $50, and I'm like, well, Chianti really isn't that expensive to begin with. And I was like, so what? So it's kind of, I'm looking for. I always ask for the wine list. Can I see the wine list? I want to see what you have, and if you have some good stuff that I like, that just adds to the whole experience.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive because you can
No.
get some good wines that are inexpensive.
Let me tell you, I drink this Nero Diavolo. It's a Sicilian wine. It's an organic wine. It's called Boscaris. Is the brand that the purveyor. $13.
Delicious.
I have given it to people that are bougie wine drinkers, they're like, "Oh wow, what is this?"
Is that the one
Yeah.
you gave me?
No, the one I gave you, was a little bougie. I was a single.
He hyped it up because, hey, listen, thanks for meeting. I got a little something for you.
You're good.
I break it out. I didn't know what it was. He goes, "You're gonna like that wine."
Yeah.
It's a $13 wine, by the way.
That's actually so. That's interesting because
I was just joking.
there's a Chianti. It's called Tenuta de Arseno that is about $22 a bottle or something.
Yeah.
Great wine, right? But then I sometimes get on my bougie side. Like my wife and I, every Valentine's Day we have a tradition. We drink. We get a heart-shaped pizza, regular heart-shaped pizza, maybe half pepperoni, whatever. Goes for $13, and then we'll drink like a $200 bottle of wine. And it's like
I love that.
And I go, this is the most bougie way you can, because you're eating the cheapest shit you could possibly
It's the more
buy.
expensive one.
But then like last year we had this one we actually celebrated because we just had our son in January. So on Valentine's Day,
Congrats.
we had this
God bless.
2012 Brunello di Montalcino.
Oh.
It was like almost 15 years old. And it was just magnificent.
You ever drink Sesakaya?
Of course.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
So
we had a bottle. We had another wine. It was called Gratamaco, and it is a Super Tuscan, and we had it in Italy. First night we were there, we were in Lake Como, and we were talking about the guys like, you got to try this bottle. So I'm like, okay. So I look at the price, and I'm like, I was like, it was like 200 and something bucks, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like, let's give it. It was
phenomenal.
We had
Phenomenal.
that dinner, dude. At the end, we had 4 bottles.
I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna go away with you guys.
And it was the first night of a 2-week honeymoon, and I open up the bill, and you're just like,
All right, honeymoon's over.
Yeah.
you're like,
Spending's over.
There's the budget.
Spending's over.
and then you realize it's in euro, and you're like,
Oh.
okay. Well,
So-
you better take a good look at this place. We never come back. No,
So
it was so good. It was so good. But it was, you're on honeymoon. I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
we're
Exactly.
Are we almost prepared for the meatballs?
We're getting there.
All right.
I want to say
Dude.
maybe 5 more minutes.
This
if we're
might
good.
be a 2-part episode, man. We're
It
an
might
hour
be.
and 53 in.
I know
listen.
2 parts. Fucking 1 part. That's all we
So,
got.
so bringing the conversation that we were just talking about with wines to cigars, right? So I don't know how you guys enjoy your cigars if you actually try to taste the notes and
Yes.
you know
Yes. So I would say sometimes.
same
Because
same.
if I'm golfing, I don't know.
Same.
Fuck it, I'm just smoking a
and
cigar.
and everyone has kind of their go-tos, and then when you want to splurge a little bit, you spend a little bit more. So I want to know like what your splurges would be. Are they
With
the
cigar.
higher end, or does it not matter?
So I'll tell you right off the bat, to answer that question, I'll tell you about creating your own cigar is a blessing and a curse. What I mean by that is when you create your own cigar line, your passion, the idea that you have in your brain of what you want this to become and how you want it to taste, that passion, that idea comes to fruition, and you get to share it with the world, and it's a magnificent thing. It's such a blessing to be able to have your cigars and to see you guys enjoying them, and people to come to you and say, hey, this
Phenomenal.
is right.
I know where you're going with this.
But on the curse is
You don't smoke
you
anyone
don't smoke
else's.
anything else.
Yep.
Like, oh, you smoke
I know it. I know.
I can't tell you last time I smoked another
You know what
cigar.
I'm saying?
I know.
I'm
So
like,
I'm going to tell you how I feel about that. 100%. Eventually I'll release my own cigar as well. But I feel like, again, it's respect to the industry,
Nice.
right? Like there are thousands of wines. There's thousands of restaurants. I mean, you just support the industry, you support the business, and 100%. You want to represent your brand, your business. You want to grow it.
We used to have cigar boxes all in the back here, and then quickly we said, we don't want any of these other cigar
Yeah.
boxes. Take
Yeah.
them all.
Yeah.
so
over there.
I'll tell you this. So before we had our cigar line, I got married, and I had a cigar that I was saving for my wedding day, and it was an Opus X, 2014, Purple Rain, the Purple Band, BBMF, which I don't know if you're familiar with cigars, but Opus X is a very high-end brand. Okay,
Okay.
Opus X is made
Fuente.
by Arturo Fuente, a very, very high-end cigar, Dominican cigars, very, very high-end. The Opus X, the Purple Rain, takes it one step further. The BBMF is a very unique size. I will pull it up because I don't know if you've ever seen it, but a Opus X BBMF is a very unique size cigar. So here it is.
Oh.
So that was the cigar I had. It was a 2014. Okay, so it had the purple label down here, and it has this unfinished top and a torpedo figurado shape type of, and a tapered foot. And the cigar now probably goes for, shoot, I have no idea. Let's see.
It ain't cheap. That's for sure. Yeah, that's for damn sure.
This is Fuente Age Selection. Yes. I don't even know. Let's see price. Here you go. BBMF price. Okay, so the Heaven and Earth BBMF Natural. This is a box.
I'll tell you this. While Justin's looking it up, I've never shared a cigar with anybody in my life. On his wedding night, I said, "Yo, give me a couple puffs of that cigar."
Yeah.
I took a couple puffs of that cigar. That was the first cigar I've ever smoked. Talking about notes, where it was smoked meat off the draw.
Really?
So it's about $100. So it's about this was the 2016
savory as hell.
This was 2016. And it was going for about $1,000 a box, and it's 10 cigars in a box. So at the time it was about $110 a stick. Now it's probably a little bit more here in New York. That was like a very special. Like I've only had that stick one time, and that was I have another one in there, but I only had it one time. And it was on my wedding day. So now like I didn't want to smoke it beforehand. I wanted to smoke it on my wedding day. So now if I ever had that cigar again, I'll remember my wedding day.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Because that was the only time I ever had it. So now every time I have it from now on will be remembrance of my wedding day.
Yeah.
I have cigars in my humidor. I have like 4 or 5 that were rolled at my wedding, and they're still marinating for coming up on.
Me too.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. It'll be coming up on 4 years in November, and my goal is to, whether it's my daughter or if I have a son, whoever gets married, I want to be able to smoke those cigars on their wedding day.
Meaningful.
Well, actually, now
right?
that I remember, we did have the blueprint at my wedding. It was released.
Oh yeah, we did.
I had smoked that BBMF. That was like the night because we had this huge bonfire on top, and I had smoked that. But we had the blueprints and stuff. But yeah, there's a couple of cigars that I remember, like the Chef's Edition by Davidoff. The 2015 was so good. Yeah. But then there's other cigars that I've had that I don't think are worth the money. I would say my go-tos were like a Flor de las Antillas by My Father was a very good stick. My Father in general has good sticks. Oliva has very good sticks.
Yep.
Yeah. You like the Caldwell
Blind Man's Bluff was a very good stick. Romeo and Juliet, the Cuban Wide Churchill, very good stick, which is actually what we modeled our size after. It's a 5x54. So there's a couple of sticks that I will splurge on. The Atabey is a great stick.
Man, I haven't had a cigar.
I haven't had it in a long time. And then I do like Lanceros as well. I don't know if you guys have ever had Lanceros, but there's a very different flavor. You can have the same cigar, but have it in a Toro versus a Lancero. They're going to taste different. And we don't have a Lancero yet. We will in the future, but since we don't have one, I'll smoke some Lanceros. But yeah, there's a couple of cigars, but when you have your own, you're kind of like,
you're biased.
You know, I'm like,
really.
It's
before
understandable.
I had our cigar, I'd like to see like the Oliva Serie V Milanio, the Oliva Serie V,
the
LFD Andalusian Bull.
Andalusian Bull. I like
great stick.
The LFD. What was it? What was the moon one, Justin? The Lennox. I liked. What else do we like?
I'm looking up on the board.
Oh, and this is a very underrated cigar. The CAO Consigliere. That was a really good cigar. I enjoyed it a lot.
Got it.
Another very good one too is Avo Ritmo.
Yeah.
The Avo Ritmo actually has 7 different. So our cigar has 6 different countries. The Ritmo has 7 different countries in it.
Beautiful.
That's by Avo. He actually passed away, Avo Vazian, a few years back. But so there's a few. But like I said,
there's a lot of cigars I like. Now I gotta get you smoking the cigar, serving the meatballs.
Serving the balls.
There we go.
Okay, hold on.
Let me get this out of the way. So
there you go. Yeah. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. There we go. Look at that beautifulness. That's some goodness right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
Damn.
Ball to plate, baby.
Smoky balls.
Ball to plate.
A little smoky
balls.
balls
And wieners.
Yeah. We got
What
sticks
is
and
it?
balls in the hands.
Balls and
Sticks and
wieners.
balls.
Cock and balls and wieners.
That's
I
hilarious.
actually just watched it the other day.
I got a little ash on my plate, but I don't even mind it.
Hey, mix it in
I
there.
might mix it in a little bit.
It adds a little earthiness
texture.
to
Yeah, a
it.
little earthiness for sure.
All right. Oh, we're not done yet. Hold on.
Yeah, a little cheese, a little
We gotta do a little
cheese.
cheese. I'm gonna take the video.
Non-tariff cheese.
I take the video of the cheese. Like When he sprinkles it on
you,
the.
sir.
Yeah, hold on.
Here, ready? Hold on, ready? Hold on. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Ready?
Yeah, you got
Hold
it.
on, ready? I'm gonna try this. Ready? All right, let's see if I can get this going. Hold on.
Yeah. Look at that. That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Love it.
Look at this. Yeah.
Bang. Oh my god.
All right.
It's a full-blown
This is
dinner in your setup.
This
This is phenomenal.
This is unbelievable.
Listen, we had a lot of interesting, crazy people on here. This is by far one of the most wildest experiences we've ever been a part of.
This is great.
I love it.
So my
Thank
buddy,
you,
I
Chef.
texted him about that restaurant. I said, what was that Japanese place we went to recently? He goes, it's Okaru. And then he says, you're lucky I watched your Instagram stories and knew you were on with a chef of some sort today. So he was watching it and overheard me say, I'm going to text my buddy. And then he made sure to answer it.
Very good.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
All right, so just to reiterate, what's the ingredients for these meatballs today?
Gosh.
So, what we have here.
Hey, give yourself the microphone.
Oh, whoops. Whoops.
There you go.
Sorry, guys. We have a bone marrow polpette. So we have roasted bone marrow.
You know what polpette means.
There you go.
Polpettina, small meatballs.
We have that. Then we have a 80-20 Wagyu beef with pecorino romano, parmigiano reggiano, a little bit of eggs, garlic shallot sofrito, milk, ricotta, herb breadcrumbs, and a little bit of fresh parsley. Mangia bene, guys.
One bite, everyone knows the rules.
There we go.
Mangia bene.
Oh, man.
For the listeners, they don't even need a knife. They're cutting through like butter.
I mean, super like. There you go, right?
Wow.
Wow. Phenomenal.
That's just.
Better than your mother's meatballs.
Love you, Ma. Sorry. He's right.
Now that's a good meat.
Now that is,
Don't bullshit me, guys.
No,
Don't
no.
bullshit me.
I'm a fan of how soft the texture is.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like melting almost. What's the cause of that? I've never had a real meatball where balls melt in my mouth.
Okay. So the thing that really I feel gives it the moisture is the milk because it tenderizes the meat, and I cook them slow. There's no rush.
Slow down.
We're not going nowhere. We're here, guys.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
A little bit of.
Oh, my wife's gonna be super jealous. She's FaceTiming right now. Say hi, everybody. We're eating meatballs.
How are you?
doing? We have some for you. Don't worry.
We got meatballs and spicy rigatoni for.
Oh.
Thank you. No, don't worry. Ava, I hope you can eat some. If not, I'm sorry. Don't get upset.
She can lick the sauce, right?
There you go.
She's up at Solid Foods now.
We can do it.
Give her a little bit of sauce.
Yeah, yeah, we're finishing up. All right,
I
love you.
honestly-
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, baby.
I'm no bullshitting you.
Don't bullshit me.
I could eat that whole pot.
No,
Dude, they melt in your mouth.
I could
Yeah.
eat that
so soft.
whole pot.
Crazy.
And then you give me that. I'll eat that whole pot and that entire loaf of bread
Well,
right there.
what are you doing? Take that
I'm
and dip
fin-
the focaccia in the pot.
I'm finishing the
You gotta save it for
meatball.
the end. You gotta save it.
No, look. I throw my why
Oh,
I'm
there
wiping
we
the
go.
plate up.
Or watch this shit. Here we go. Watch this shit.
Gonna make
You
a
ma-
little
you making a
sandwich?
little? Yeah, there we go.
Sandwich.
There we go.
Oh, he's making a little sandwich.
Oh,
we go.
wait, hold on. We got more here, guys. Come on, what are we doing?
Oh, yeah, give me a couple more balls.
Here we
Come
go. Come on.
on, put some balls on my plate. Plate. Put them on my plate.
Play.
There we go. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Adrian, you still hungry?
I'm going.
come on.
I'm going.
Here we
No,
go.
Eric.
Thank you. That's good, buddy.
Now that's high quality meatball.
Oh,
There
thank
you
you.
go.
That's what I call high quality.
Thank you.
H2O.
Thank you.
Wow.
Making me
Well,
sweat.
we do have to save that other half a loaf for the wives. Okay. Of course. So,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you guys, I got a little more vodka sauce. We have a whole other quart of the meatball sauce. We got probably about like 8 more meatballs, pasta.
Oh, they're gonna. Oh my God. I think we just need to take a break here.
Take a moment of silence. Moment of silence.
I think it's Sunday dinner. I think we should say a quick grace. Okay.
All right, all right.
I like that. I
All
like
right.
that.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the food that you have in front of us. We thank you for the gift of our friendship right here.
Yes.
Thank you for this experience that we've had. We thank you for bringing us all together. We thank you for all the many blessings you've given us in our lives. And we thank you for this food. We thank you for our families. We ask that you just protect us, keep us all safe.
Word up.
Okay,
Let's do it.
And Mangiu Bene.
All right, there we
Amen.
go. Cheers, you
And,
guys.
and I'll give you guys on my napkin stand in my family's house every single morning, every single dinner. We say, "Bless us, O Lord, for these thy gifts we are about to receive from my bounty through Christ our Lord."
Amen.
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 Cheers, guys.
Salute.
Salud.
Thank you,
salud.
gentlemen.
Love this.
Oh man, this is so good.
I'm like Adrian. I got a little bit of meat sweats going on right
Yeah.
now.
See the beat? See the beat?
This is great, man. This is. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Lord, for the bounty we are about to eat.
Matt, if you know any other chefs that want to come on the show and cook, invite them all over.
What do you mean? I'm the only. I'm the official chef of the Burn Down podcast. What are you talking about?
You know what? I like that better. Once
So
you
actually, hold on. I have a serious question.
there we go.
Talk to me.
Do you do private events?
I do.
You do.
Yes.
Why don't you tell
So
them-
this is
tell them what you're
what.
working on.
So June 7th,
Like we can hire you for an event?
you can hire me for an event, but June 7th, and you guys are more than welcome with the wives. I am launching a pop-up restaurant in Soho. It's actually called Sunday Supper. So
June
June 7th.
7th.
So what you guys just ate today is a sample of the menu. That's just 2 of the courses.
That was planned.
Oh, that was definitely planned.
Oh, man.
Plug.
We only waited 2 hours.
Test subjects right here. No, but guys, honestly, like, this is what I do. This is what I love. I love seeing people enjoy food. I love making things that are nostalgic and get to bring people back. And just none of us are on our phones, regardless of the 13 cameras. But,
Well,
you know,
yeah.
where you guys are all enjoying the moment. You're enjoying the food. This is what it's about.
Now, how many people can you cook for? Like,
So the biggest I've done is 75,
Okay.
and the smallest I've done is 6.
Wow.
because I'm thinking wheels turn.
Let's turn.
Every year, right here in my house, we have a huge Halloween party, big blowout.
Okay.
Big blowout party. Everybody comes costumed. There's awards. There's a band. I got a bartender. I usually have it catered.
Yeah.
We have maybe, I don't know, max 50 people. Something like that. Maybe usually like anywhere between 35 and 50. Kind of depends on who's showing up.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, hey, instead of catering, well, I mean, now you'd have to be in costume, of course. You dress up as a Halloween, some sort of Halloween.
I mean, I got some costumes in my
Let's,
closet.
Let's get them here. Start cooking the meatballs for everybody.
Then
Listen,
I'll actually come to the
That's a
Halloween
great
party.
idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This is what.
I'm a big
Listen.
Halloween guy.
This is
You,
what I
you may,
do.
you may get more than 50 people to show up then.
I make fresh mozzarella on site. I got a portable pizza oven. I do it all.
Oh my god.
You guys let me know what you need.
We'll have to
but
talk about, you know.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
Dang.
But what I think we have to do, this is my opinion. You know, I think we got to do the cigar, Adrian's Cigar Club. I cook
A dinner, a little cigar dinner.
a little cigar,
Cigar
dinner.
Club, Adrian cooking, Blueprint Diligent,
Call it, yeah.
little
There we
trio.
A little trio. I'll bring our Bonnie truffles.
Absolutely.
We'll have a little truffles.
Create the
How you doing?
experience.
The cigar dinner experience.
Listen, I'm all about it. I am all about
Because I
it.
tell you, 9 times out of 10, and the same thing I said to Adrian, all the people I meet, after I cook for them, all the guys go outside, what do?
Smoke a
They
cigar.
have a scotch and a cigar.
You know what we can call it? Call it the Blueprint and Balls experience.
Blueprint and balls.
Blueprints and Balls.
Blue balls.
I'm seeing the marketing right now. We'll have the cigar with my 2 meatballs right on the side on
There
the
you
plate.
go.
There we go. There we go.
There you go. Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking
We
about.
might get a different kind of audience, but don't worry about it. They'll pay.
Listen, money's green, no matter what.
Exactly.
That's hysterical.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man.
Holy cow.
The wheels will turn.
All right, I'm going back for another.
Go in. Dip it in the pot while it's hot. Come on.
Well, no, I like to clean the plate.
All
I
right.
like to clean the plate because otherwise it's just going to garbage.
Wow. Now, is there
I'm gonna sleep good tonight.
My wife's like, you better bring me home some food.
I'm going to go to your house after this and cook for her. How about that? That's what we're going to do.
She deserves it.
Good thing we're no longer live. You know?
But is there a certain is there a limit
sweating.
on how far you'll go to cook for anybody, or sky's the limit? Like if someone wants.
If you want something, if it's going to make you happy and you'll enjoy it, I'll do it.
Listen,
If you want it just to have it, I don't do that.
keep
That's
adding,
my thing.
keep adding a zero. He'll go to fucking Zimbabwe. Cook
Yeah,
for you, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, I'm
Keep adding a
Listen,
zero at the end of that.
I
check.
drove to the Hamptons on Memorial Day weekend. I could do anything.
That's
7.5 hours in the car.
That's fucking brutal.
Left my house at 12 o'clock. Got there at 7:30.
Where do you live again right now?
I'm in Edgewater now, but I used to live in Staten Island.
Oh, and you drove from Staten
I
Island
went
to
to Southampton.
7 hours.
Left at 12:05. Got there
PM.
12:05 p.m. Got there 7:36
What time are you supposed
p.m.
to be there?
5.
Wow.
Well, that you know what it is.
Holy.
It probably took you 2 hours to get to the single lane road, and then another 5 down.
Oh
that
yeah,
single
I was
lane
looking
road.
at what is
Yep.
it, Doug's Vineyard? But I was looking at it for probably a good 45 minutes. To the point I was debating, I could go out, have a drink, leave my car, and come back. And the car
That's
was gonna be
crazy.
That's what people don't know. Long Island, when you get past, like when you get out east, right before the fork, right, you get Long Island. There's a fork at the end, and if you're going to the Hamptons, you got to go to the South Fork. And once you split, once you get off the LIE, the end of the LIE, it's a
One lane.
It's a one lane
One
road,
lane.
all the way to the end, baby.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
So
God.
Memorial Day weekend, if there's even if there's a slow poke in front of you, that's it.
And that might be the longest I've ever heard to get somewhere on Long Island.
Yeah.
That's far, yeah.
Hours.
Well, from Staten Island, so you factor
Yeah.
in all that
Okay,
and
yeah.
everything.
But I mean, but still, I mean,
It
it's-
just kept ways. No, 20 minutes. No,
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Right.
I got hot. I do actually. I have a lot of clients out here that book me for like bachelorette parties. So I always end up in the Hamptons, Jamesport, and all these kind of towns. And it's like,
the money
When I-
spending towns.
yeah,
So what we're trying to do is
Let's,
So what we're trying to do is
let's bring it back here. Come on.
yeah.
We got,
Bring it-
we got,
let's
we
bring
got
it
a
back.
factory with
the
the food.
whole premise is the unique experiences, right? So Matt just showed you guys what he can do in a confined space with
one
an
burner.
electric burner, right?
burner.
An induction burner,
One
right?
plug. We got one plug. That's it.
If we can find a unique space, maybe an outdoor venue that will allow us to host, and Matt can come up with his setup, unless there's a kitchen there, and it's kind of like live cooking for the gentleman. Instead of the chefs and everyone in the kitchen, you don't see it, you just serve the plates. We want him to cook there. We want people to be able to come over, look at the sauce like we all were, smell it, smoke their cigars, mingle, talk. You know, it's the live atmosphere. It's that whole experience. So anyone listening or anyone willing to, you know, offer up a space, maybe this summer, and all of our events can be intimate. They don't have to be these big blowouts, 100-person events.
They could be
Could
20
exactly.
20 people in my
guys,
backyard right here.
20
There we go.
guys, 30 guys.
I can
ladies
have the
and
pool
gentlemen.
open. It could be a pool party. We can have,
Exactly.
Damn.
Exactly.
I got a private. We got a gate over there. I'll put a bouncer on the gate.
Yeah. Listen, so that's the vision is to showcase Matt's skill and his passion and bring it to the world of cigars, because food and cigars go together. Wine and cigars go together.
and guys,
You know?
honestly, I'm not a cigar professional, but these, you guys got a winner. Honestly.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for sharing
We
this with
appreciate that.
with me and with us, because this is it's amazing how it's going like hand in hand. This is exceptionally smooth.
That was
Yeah.
With the it goes. Yeah.
Listen,
This
just-
is like
Just how you took the time to prepare your food, get everything in order, is the
Yes.
same
Yeah.
way how we meticulously put our cigars together and our blends
Beautiful.
together.
but that's what you could tell. There's no harshness. My throat's not burning. It's not like it's not hard to pull. It's like smooth. I'm
Smooth.
relaxing. It's beautiful.
And that's the
So
biggest
listen,
thing with
for all-
cigars,
Yeah.
right? Food,
Yes.
it's got to
That's
taste
it,
delicious.
yeah,
it's
Cigars,
experience.
Yes.
it's got to be smooth, and you have to be able to draw
You
them
know,
cigars
and here's
easily.
And here's what we can do, right? For people that listen, like you had said, you saw what we can do right here. This is maybe a 12 by 12 shed, essentially, okay? And we made a beautiful meal. Matt made a beautiful meal, okay? We have cigars, we have wine, we have tequila. We can set this whole thing up, and you guys can experience what we're experiencing on a grander scale. Could be an intimate, could be grand, but we can do a cigar like the Diligent with the meal, and then we can have an after dinner bourbon or tequila with the Blueprint, and you can pair the Diligent with the meal. You can pair the Blueprint with the bourbon or the tequila. We can have music playing. We can have people all just coming together. We can do this that we're doing right here
for everyone.
for everyone.
Everyone.
So whoever's
Absolutely.
listening, whoever's watching, if you have a space that you're willing to, or if you're interested, if you have a space that you might know of or you have that you can rent out, contact us. Or if you're interested in attending an event like that, reach out to us. We can start putting together a list of people that might want to do that and see how many we can collect and what size of a place we need to do, and we can put something together, because this is we want to do this, and we want to give this to everybody else.
Yeah.
We
This
want
is
people to experience what we just experienced.
Exactly.
Here. This is unbelievable.
And now, mind you, I've never met them. I've only known Adrian 2 weeks, and I feel the camaraderie that we all have
Most definitely.
in that short amount of time to then experience this in like a 5-hour event. I can only imagine.
We literally just met, and you cooked me dinner at my house.
You better call me tomorrow morning.
It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you form relationships, right? You break bread with people. You
That's
smoke,
it.
You smoke
Exactly.
cigars.
I will say this. I gotta be on. Like, we've just met. Right. This, again, people. I just met these. Never seen these before. We talked a couple of texts. Just met them. But I gotta say, like, we're friends now. Like, you
100%.
guys are genuine. You guys are awesome. You guys, you're just welcoming. You come in here. You bring gifts. You bring all sorts of stuff, and it's just we can.
Oh,
feel
by the
way,
way, we forgot.
we got the show. Yeah, we got the shirts. But like,
Oh yeah, come on.
Pasta Social.
They're
Pasta Social Club.
official members now.
Come on.
NYC Cigar Club and a Pasta Social Club.
Let's
How
go,
you doing?
baby.
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
So I can say, listen, we really do appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
We're happy to call you friends now. I'm glad that we got here to experience this, to chat, to have some good cigars, to have some good food, to have some good drink. But I think we are coming to the end. We're 2 hours and 15 minutes in.
Oh wow,
shit.
this is a long one.
So
Yeah,
we
I
are
think
coming to the end.
I think we always say this, but I think this
Might be the
might
record.
be the longest.
Might be the record.
Yeah,
Right.
But at this point of the show, we want to give each of you guys the red carpet to plug away, tell everybody that's watching, tell everybody that's listening, where they can find you, what events you got coming up, kind of the floor is yours to plug away.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, gentlemen, for hosting us. Obviously,
Of course.
First and
I don't know who
foremost.
hosted who, because like we just sat here.
A little bit of
like,
both.
Like you hosted us at my place.
So I'll keep it short and sweet. NY Cigar Club is the social club, the community for cigar enthusiasts. You can join nycigarclub.com. As I said earlier, membership is completely free. Be part of the club. You're welcome to attend events or just be part of the email list, and you can check out what we have going on. Coppola Cigar Co. You can find all of my luxury cigar cases. Check out the website. If there's something that you don't see there, you could email me, reach out to me directly. I'll be happy to communicate with you. The main reason why we wanted to do this was to get our brands out there, as well as come support your podcast and bring everyone together. So I hope that people join the club. I'm looking forward to many, many events with Matt and the gentleman here at the Burn Down podcast, and I had a phenomenal time, so thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, brother.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, to reiterate, guys, thank you again for having us. It's literally been such a pleasure. Like I said, I feel like I know you guys already. And if you want to attend anything that I'm doing, sundaysupper.social, pop-up restaurant in Manhattan. It's going to be literally this, but my mom is going to be there. My wife is going to be there. My in-laws. So I'll probably be getting hit and getting yelled at while serving you guys great food.
Only natural.
Comes after
yeah.
here comes the shoe.
Exactly. A shoe or wooden spoon, we don't know. But guys, camaraderie, good food, good times, good cigars, and thank you, gentlemen, again.
Well, we appreciate you guys. We keep saying it. Thank you so much. The food was delicious. The cigars were delicious. The accessories are phenomenal. The vests are phenomenal. The T-shirts are phenomenal. Thank you, gentlemen, for
You
being
guys
a
are
part.
phenomenal.
You guys are phenomenal.
Thank you.
And with
Thank
that
you.
being said, we like to send it off with saying cheers, chin chin, and salute, my boys.
God bless you
Salud,
guys.
salud, salud.